Right, here we go then. Dutch GP at Zandvoort, Watchalong. Wow, 57 minutes to go till the start of the race. We've had some disqualifications. We've had some grid drops. It's all kicking off. Are we going to see the McLarens as well make more headway into, well, the Red Bulls? Or basically Max? We'll find out. Welcome everyone. Let me pop out the chat. Welcome Unforgiven Player, Chris Fails, Chaya, Crazy Aid, Dark Cloud Dexter, Seema, Emmo Vlacker as well. Welcome along everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everyone, whether it's morning or not. Is it now or at 2 p.m? It's at 2 p.m. I want to do a 55-minute timer. I'm sure I can get one. Hang on. 55-minute timer. OBS. I'm sure I can get one.
Keep trying.
I can't. Come on. They're all plugins. I just want one. Okay, searching 55-minute was silly, wasn't it? Hang on. Countdown. Countdown timer. OBS countdown. Here we go. Widget configuration. Timer values. By the time I get this in, it's going to be 53 minutes. Okay. Yes, it's going to be good. But the font is absolutely pants. Do we want it a black one or a white one? I think we want it a white one. Text color, white. Okay. If I've done this correctly, we're going to have a timer. If I haven't, then I don't even know. I don't even know. Let's find out. Yes! Your counter title here. Look at this. Look at, oh my goodness, it fits in. Logan Sargent knew not to do the lap. Okay. I'll refresh it. Ah, it's close enough. It's close enough. There we go. White. Yeah, we got it white now. There's no ticker though. What happened to the... Where's the marquee text? I'm concerned. I'm worried about this. We know it's a bit temperamental. Here we go. It's on now. Have we got it? Is it a goal alert? Yes, it is. Oh my days. Amazing. Okay. Right. So, grid drops and everything. Let's have a look. Standings, latest. So, Lewis Hamilton has a 3-place grid drop. Lewis Hamilton is starting in 14th. And
Keep your head down.
Alex Albon was disqualified. Albon's starting from the back. That's why Lewis Hamilton didn't go down 3 places, because Alex Albon's gone as well. Welcome Yolanga Vestig. First up at the race for Lars. Welcome Lars. Do I have any idea of the new timeline, new Thrustmaster? No, I don't. But I have Thrustmaster products, so I will reach out to them and ask them. Try and get any information. Stash Gordon says, oh yeah. Lewis Hamilton sabotage. Well, people said that he went out on colder tyres or something. So Hamilton's all the way down in P14, but Russell's in P4. I mean, that's a big disparity. Big disparity. Do I need to reset this chat. Hang on. Am I a genius? Yes, I'm a... Oh my goodness. Should do more streaming. Maxon also starting from the back. Yes, Kevin Maxon also starting from the back. I don't know what the story is with K-Mag. So that means Carlos Sainz in the end is in P10. And Lance Stroll, it's an Aston Martin P7 and 8. Row lockout there. Baby, Biab is shady Afred. I can't wait to see my man Max. Let's go Uganda. Yes, indeed. Big support for Max Verstappen in Uganda. Didn't Hamilton get a 3-place grid penalty? Yes, Sander Siabonga, but you'll be happy because George Russell's still up there in P4. Wash tyres. They put him out on wash tyres. What's the weather saying? I don't know because... Let me see. Let me go over to the weather. Live rain radar. Oh, I don't see any rain. I don't see any rain happening over Zandvoort today. Unless there's going to be something comes in over the sea. I don't see it. So I think it's going to be a dry race today, unlike last year. If anyone was here for the watch-along last year, what a madness that was. Welcome Dan Keeling from Thailand. Hope you're well. Chilling out in Thailand. Maybe, I don't know. Toto already called the police. Yeah, didn't he? Wasn't it like they called the police about some leak or investigation or something? F1's just so sensitive. K-Mag went over. Yeah, didn't Max Verstappen get a penalty in, was it Spa? So we're going to start to see the grid penalties come in. I want to let you guys and girls know the standings, okay? I want to let you know the standings. So, in the Drivers' Championship, welcome Alex Mean for Cambodia. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship, by the way, with 7 wins, which is way ahead of anyone else. So Max Verstappen leads 7 wins, 277 points. Okay? The second place driver is Lando Norris with only 1 win. Lando 1 win. With 199 points. Now remember, there's 25 or 26 points technically up for grabs in the race if you win and get fastest lap. So Lando would need to win 3 races and Verstappen not scoring the points of any of them, and even then Lando wouldn't be ahead of Max. So it's unlikely Lando's going to catch Max, but stranger things have happened. For example, if Lando wins this race and he's starting pole and Verstappen doesn't finish in the points, gets taken out, then that's going to be another 26 point swing potentially. Lee, I think I might play a bit of F1 23, give G7 a break. Yeah, go for it. Fortunately, I didn't do Nations yesterday. It's a bit of a shame. There is a deal on, by the way, in the UK. If you want to buy a PS5 and you have Netflix, I personally don't watch Netflix. Not because I don't watch it because I don't have the time. Because I'm here. But if you do, you can buy a PlayStation. You get like £215 of Netflix credit. So it hasn't really been a better time to get one. So much rather. Nas says Hamilton always get a penalty, but not the Red Bull driver. Stewart is so corrupt and boosting Red Bull and systematically destroying Hamilton mentally. And we're going to pin that one. That's a pinnable comment there. There we go. Welcome, hey, it's Amy. Good to see you again. How come Lewis got a penalty? Was it for the impeding? I'm guessing it was for the impeding. I'll just double check. I just want to do constructors now. Right, constructors is a lot closer. So the constructors, Red Bull is in the lead with 408 points. Second place is McLaren with 366 points. So it's a lot closer. Bearing in mind that you can get a maximum of... Is it 46 points if you get first and second and fastest lap between you? So McLaren could level this. If Perez doesn't get in the points, which let's face it is not unlikely, and for some reason Max has an issue and McLaren get a 1-2, they will go basically neck and neck, I think, here. And there's Ferrari in third place on 345 points. So let me just try and work out what the Hamilton penalty was from. What time's the race start? You got the countdown there. What happened to Hamilton? It doesn't say in the BBC article why he didn't get a penalty. So I don't know. Bonington not going to Ferrari, by the way. We discussed this on the F1 podcast. If anyone's seen that on the Motorsport channel. Right at the beginning of the year, whether Bono was going to go or not, we said if Bono doesn't go, that could have a big impact on Hamilton. Bono playing a big part in Hamilton's success. So interesting who they're going to pair him up with. And Hamilton obviously in the twilight of his career. Is that going to make him more difficult to work with? I don't know. Is he going to want to reset his ways? I don't know. Horner complainant has been dismissed. Remember the Horner, Christian Horner. I don't want to say it wrong. I don't know exactly what the allegation was. The woman who complained has had her appeal against the investigation dismissed. So make of that what you will. Bob Badger, will Norris actually deliver today, or is it a bottle job again? We're going to find out imminently. I'm looking forward to the first lap, the first corner. See if we're going to get that Lando bottle. Chris Fells, my prediction for yesterday still stands. Piastri 1, Verstappen 2, Norris 3 and Hamilton 4. Isabel in the house. For all it's worth, Hamilton deserved... Oh, so it was from the impeding. For all it's worth, Hamilton deserved the penalty. He definitely impeded Perez. And the stewards have been very consistent. Yeah, I saw it all kicked off on Twitter. There was a prominent F1 YouTuber who said it's a penalty. And I think everyone took it as an opportunity to dunk on him. I said, you don't know what you're talking about, typical F1 YouTubers. And then it turns out he got a penalty, so maybe he kind of knew. Twitter's just absolute... I don't even know what you call it. Battleground. Max has ever found T for his pit lane overtake. Yeah, people have pointed that out as well. Jump in the queue. Phoenix saying, poor woke hamster, nobody helping him win anymore. Well, Hamilton has won twice this season, my friend. So it seems like he's doing it without the support. Even more impressive. Chaya says, I do like that the penalties are actually happening. I'd like to see them counting for Verstappen too. We'll see. Welcome, Mel Lane from New Zealand. What's the time in New Zealand? Is it prime time? You know what? I really want to go to New Zealand. And honestly, if I could choose between New Zealand and Australia, I don't want to offend the many Australian dear, dedicated, key viewers we have. But I think I would go to New Zealand. I think I would go to New Zealand. Or would you just... I don't know. It's a long flight. How much does it cost to fly over there? Amy says, I know McLaren said they'll be trying to go for constructors this year. I'm hoping next year they'll keep up the pace and go for the championship. I presume the Drivers' Championship. That's why I think it's so important that Lando... For Lando, I think it's important that he establishes himself as a #1 driver at McLaren. Brundle calling Lewis Hamilton an idiot. Was that Brundle? I thought it was Sergio Perez called him an idiot. Was Brundle calling him an idiot as well? X Factor. F1 is corrupt and Hamilton, as always, is at the receiving end. Anyway, watch out. Hamilton is going to come storming back to take a podium position. Jacob, I hope for Norris at lap 1 Lando didn't come. Yeah, we're going to see. He obviously had a different mental approach yesterday, which is quite interesting to see. Him approach things differently. Welcome, Zoe, as well. Surely Zoe's not at the track as well. Surely Zoe's not in the paddock as well today. It's been such a long time since last stream. Isabel, less deadly wildlife in New Zealand. I assume there'd be more deadly wildlife. Not that that's the reason I was going to go. I do have a big spider that lives with me here. I say lives with me. I'm basically just... I'm renting from him. It's got this big old funnel. Grandad Andy, what about Verstappen overtaking on the pit lane and crossing the pit lane marks? Seems to have got away with it. Red Bull Assistance Agency. Great American Buffet says Aston the point is today. We'll see Hulkenberg in P12, but Magnussen starting from the back. Interesting new lineup next season with Behrman and Ocon, we confirmed yesterday. Cheech 180 having a good smile. Chai, apparently king and queen with one of the princesses. I presume that's a Dutch king and queen. Mel Lane is currently 12-18. That's dedication. Mel, you're going to be watching the race. Who are you supporting, Mel? That's big dedication. I like it. I feel your pain. I was there for Australia, for Japan. We were up here at 3 in the morning. So I feel the old dedication there. Have I done this? Oh, no, I know what I do. I just turn this other one off. That's surely what I would have done logically. Yes. No snakes in New Zealand. I was on holiday. Actually, I wasn't on holiday. I was in a hot country this year, and I saw a snake. I tried to catch it. It slithered away. Dark Cloud Hamilton top 7. We'll see. Will they start Hamilton on the hards or do something weird about that? Has less to lose, arguably. Dark Cloud New Zealand, you can fly via Australia and do both. Okay, maybe that's the strat. I haven't been to the US this year. I do like to try and go to the US and kind of keep in touch. It's just, to be honest, I haven't really taken... I haven't actually taken a holiday this year. But I have travelled a lot. But it's been for work. So... maybe next year. Maybe January. Maybe East Coast in January or something. Right, cars are on track. Coming out the pits. Phantom Buster in the house. Alfonso Masterclass incoming. We're going to see. Starting at P7. Unforgiven hopes it's a spicy race. I hope so. I mean, it would have been nice actually to have the weather, but looks like it's going to be really sunny out there. Great American Buffalo. I have a sneaking suspicion that Alfonso is purposely driving slow so he doesn't get fired for making the owner's kid look bad. It's a bit of a... Can you imagine being in that situation where you're like partnered up with the... It's a very interesting situation. You're partnered up with the son of the owner of the business, and you feel like if the son of the owner doesn't do well, the owner might sell the business and you might be out of a job. So when you talk about a conflict, it's like, obviously you can't bet on yourself doing something in a race. That would be, we understand that would be a conflict and that would be wrong. But Alonso's definitely in a conflicted position. And maybe he's even more incentivized, if you look at it in a certain lens, to drive slower than if he was placing a bet on himself to do something, because he stands to lose a lot more if Stroll pulls Aston Martin out rather than like a little bet. I don't know. Interesting one. What's for breakfast today? Breakfast day was eggs. I'm in the middle of losing a lot of weight for my karting championship. They dropped the rate by 10 kg, so 10 kg needs to come off this rig. And actually, believe it or not, in the last month, in fact, a month to the day, because I started a month to the day, I've lost 6 kilograms. So 6 kg off, 4 to go, and I'm going to be... I've already 6 kg off. It's going to be a few tenths, actually, in my championship. That's great. Wolf not expecting a win. We'll see. I went with him for the thumbnail, so... Welcome, Christina S. Mel Lane supporting Papaya Army as well. Oh, I'm so slow on the chat here. Amy, do you name the spiders animals at your houses? I did catch a newt the other day, and I thought about keeping a newt. I put it in a box, and I thought, nah, it's too much hassle, so I let it go again. But then when I let it go, I did regret. I thought keeping a newt would be great, and keeping it in like a little glass thing with water and like a waterfall and feed it. But just let it go. I would have named it. Arthur Sack Che Chana says, brother, maybe you could some Australian F1 GP or the World Time Attacks. Yeah, Oz GP would be great. Black Cat dropping by just to greet you all watching in the background because priorities, much love, and Team Papaya. So Black Cat throwing support behind McLaren here. Always good to see the regulars. Josh Morris says, I'm glad McLaren is making teams interesting. Yeah, ironically, if it wasn't for McLaren, with Ferrari being such a banter team at the moment, and Mercedes being a bit inconsistent, it would be a much more... It's a very good point. It would be a much more boring season if it wasn't for McLaren stepping up their game. I don't know if anyone's seen the videos. There's lots of videos coming now on the channel from my time at McLaren, looking at the cars and everything, being amongst the F1 cars. So definitely look out for those videos. I think there's going to be a series that comes out at 12 o'clock every day, probably the next week. That's going to be a McLaren video. It's quite cool. I think one came out today. Chaya says, because of our start, it's a bit difficult to go forwards. Yeah, we'll see. There's some races Mercedes just go backwards. They just don't really have the pace. Same with Ferrari. I feel that this is going to be a shootout between McLaren and Red Bull here. That's what we're looking forward to. And then maybe a best of the rest situation. Is Alonso too old now to move teams? Well, he's committed to Aston for another year. I reckon he'll go Aston and then he'll go back into WEC. What about Alonso? No, Alonso's already won Le Mans with Toyota. So it depends. Does he really want to get the Triple Crown? In which case... Go to IndyCar and try again, or does he go to WEC and travel the world in WEC, sort of do what like Kubica and Jenson Button's doing now, his old teammate actually. Chris Ross, don't lose water yet. Wow, the chat is absolutely on fire here. Am I sure I'm in the live chat? I'm in the live chat, yeah. I'm just like, I'm not used to the pace. I'm not used to the pace. Welcome still to Russell. Is Discord up? Yes, the Discord should be up. I can check that link and see. Who's my favourite team? I don't really have a favourite team, to be honest. To be very honest, I don't have a favourite team at all. There's no team I look at and I'm like, I don't like that team. And there's no team I look at and I think I want to support that team at the expense of everyone else. I think maybe I'm a little bit cynical and I'm like, okay, these are all teams, they all want, it's all kind of sponsorship, and it's like I don't really have a favourite supermarket. Would Alonso not do Indy 500 again? It went so badly last time, didn't it? Maybe just go with a proper team. Great American Buffalo. I feel like Indy is for washed F1 drivers. Alonso wouldn't stoop so low. Well, there was a tweet that came out from a motorsport news outlet that said IndyCar is a feeder series of Formula 1. I found quite funny. Gerard Yuki probably end up Aston Honda. That's what people... Aston Honda, yeah. That's what people are saying with the Honda connection coming in. Who's my favourite driver? I don't really have a favourite driver either. I mean, I've met quite a few of them. I've raced quite a few of them. I do really like Piastri's attitude. I think Leclerc isn't praised enough. Kind of he gives stability at Ferrari. I think Tsunoda's underrated. Actually, he had two really. Remember, he had those two DNFs in a row last year. That weren't his fault. Chai here for the fun lap times and Kireth community. Exactly. Rowan, to assist Norris to challenge for the Drivers' Championship, ideally Piastri should be there to take points away from Verstappen. But Piastri shouldn't take points away from Norris. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. When did McLaren start to be strategic? I think it might be a mental thing. They might want to get into the lead in the constructors and then think about drivers. I think drivers is a much more unlikely shot, but I was, 2021 came down to 1 point, didn't it, with Hamilton and Verstappen? And I'm sure over the course of that season, they could have Mercedes could have sacrificed Bottas, and I'm sure Red Bull could have sacrificed. Was it still Perez? Yeah, Perez. So over the course of the season, sometimes it can come down to a point. Who's my favourite driver as a personality? I think Kevin Magnussen is quite a fun personality. Zoe says it's raining again. Surely it's not raining again. I just looked at the radar. So is Zoe are you at the track? Can you confirm it's raining? Can you confirm? Maybe it's going to be one of these where it's just on the coast. You just don't really know. Grosjean still destroying cars like he did in F1. Josh, IndyCar never recovered from when they formed 2 leagues. When you say form 2 leagues, is that Indy and Indy Next, or is that like when it was car or whatever? I don't fully understand the history behind Indy. We did do an Indy 500 watch-along once, which was a lot of fun. Shane says, do you think Albon's ready for his Red Bull seat back? I don't think they'll go to Alex Albon. I think they'd probably put Liam Lawson instead. Welcome Ben Gutson as well. Good to have you on board. Yolanda saying no rain at the coast at the moment. Sunny it is. Yolanda's got us covered on the weather as well, as the cars are now making their way on the grid. Half an hour to go till race start. Which Discord? It's magical. Zoe's in the Red Bull garage. Zoe, what can you see from the Red Bull garage? Who's there today? Isabel, do you think Logan will finish season F1? Well, I saw rumours today that Williams is going to get rid of him. It's just, like I said yesterday, there is this calculation, unfortunately, with Logan. It's like, yes, he brings money in sponsorship, but how much does he loses in crash damage? And apparently Williams had bought all these new parts that are now in 1 million pieces. Lewis, IndyCar can't recover because one guy owns it. Is it Penske? Does Penske own IndyCar? I don't understand. If that was true, is it Jay Penske? Because doesn't Penske also run teams? So how does that work? Wouldn't that be like Lawrence Stroll owning F1? I'm from the UK. Do I have to put Latin characters for my shipping? What do you mean? What does that mean? Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the weather, but I'm not expecting rain. Logan Sargent's car is on the grid. So I bet they've been working hard overnight. I wonder if they've actually shipped over some parts from the UK. There's a lot of flag waving going on. They're really keen on their flags. Yeah, definitely a race I want to go to. I've never been to Zandvoort. I think it'd be a really cool race. And it's a bank holiday weekend. To be honest, if I'd been really on it, I should have identified this bank holiday weekend and thought, you know what, it'd be good to go. Because I could drive somewhere, park, cycle to the circuit or something, put a folding bike in the car. Welcome, Sharkin, live from Bournemouth. Lush down here on well, that's what you call a bank holiday weekend. I didn't even know it was a bank holiday weekend until yesterday. I'm really not very good at bank holidays. But then it is a real bonus for me. Tomorrow is going to be a real bonus free day to do lots of stuff. But I'm been to Bournemouth for ages. I hope it's quite nice. I do want to go down to Bournemouth, just have a fish and chips. What time lights out? It says Moses 27 minutes to go till lights out. Lewis, that's exactly the problem with Penske. They don't even want a new chassis. But isn't Penske like a telecoms? Isn't he a telecoms guy? I think I see him. I think I see him at Formula 1. Is he the guy that has sunglasses a lot of the time? Sorry, Formula E. Shame about the tourists. Fan to add Latin characters. Honestly, I don't know. Just do some research on it. Do some research on it. Because it's probably quite a big investment. No free day for Chaya. Oh no. UK bank holiday. I'm not sure if we get a lot or not a lot of bank holidays in the scheme of things. Chat, 233 people watching, 52 likes. Can we push the likes up today? What should we do for a like target? I think 500 as a like target we should go for.
Keep trying.
Can we all smash the like button right now? And we'll see what we end up at. Will we make a big push to 100 or not? I don't know. There's many likes on the table here. We can put... Oh, there we go. I've got 2 different ones. Oh my goodness, the stream bot is going mad. It's never seen so much attention on that like front. Okay, 25 minutes to go. There are so many Verstappen fans here. Now there's a marching band, and they've dressed up some of the drums to look like Pirelli tyres. Martin Brundle's on the grid. Welcome to Vina James, good to see you. Chai saying, Isabel the best mod here. Do we need to do a best mod competition at the end of the season? Do a prize? Mod of the year. Should we do it at the end of the season? Mod of the year. What other categories can we do? Moment of the year? Lewis, what is that cracked pinned comment? Eric, let's go Ferrari. Poll for who wins. Could do. Do we want to do a poll for who wins? Okay, let's do a poll for who wins. I'm just going to put the top 4 in there then. Sharkin says all mods, yeah. We share the prize. Well, I don't share it, I give the prize. Who will win the Dutch GP? Okay, there we go. We wanted the poll. We've got one now. Amy says, if Logan goes to IndyCar, I'm praying he does better there with Prema and gets treated better. Surely he's a absolutely solid cutout for IndyCar. Maybe we'll clean up in IndyCar, like we've seen Ericsson do. Leo Park, supporting Verstappen as well. Alright, are we going to have any celebrities on the grid? Who would we expect to see? Who are the big Dutch celebrities? Jackie Stewart's there with Heineken. How many mods do we have? We've got quite a few mods. We have mods that are more on the sim racing side though. Mods on the F1 side, and then mods sort of who like everything. Why is Hamilton in 14th? Hamilton got a grid drop. So went down 3 places for impeding Sergio Perez. Welcome, Raw Talk. Good to see you again. Piastri and Ricciardo in the points. And surely you're happy with Doohan. Jack Doohan coming into Formula 1 next year. There's going to be so many Australians if Ricciardo keeps his seat. Sharky, miss being a member. Need to pick with the gifter stick. You never know. You got to be in the right place at the right time. It can strike at any moment. Semlich saying Piastri win. Verstappen won't finish. That's a big call. What makes you think that? Do you know something? Do you know something we don't? FIA says 0% chance of rain. Trying to see anyone recognising the grid. Vlatka does everything. Yeah, Vlatka does everything, and in the Discord as well. Been in the community for a long, long, long time. Oh, speaking of Jack Doohan, he's on the grid. Feeling very happy getting an Alpine seat, beating out a lot of competition. How long will Alpine give him? Didn't do a... I understand that Alpine have put out... He should have done... Chat, should Jack Doohan not have done this? When he was announced, he should have done a tweet that says, I understand that without my permission, Alpine have announced me as a driver next year. I can confirm that I will be driving for Alpine next year. Do you agree that should have happened for the banter? There was significant banter opportunity there. So he says, I'll be back when I finish work as co-team principal. I need always to solve some tasks in race week. Well, thanks for spending some time with us. Someone waiting to speak to Martin Brundle. I don't know who they are. Are they a pre-arranged guest? If so, the name will pop up. If they're not a pre-arranged guest, it won't pop up. And I'm not seeing a name pop up. So this might be an actual sort of happenstance random interaction on the grid, which we'd love to see. Don't know who the individual is. Lewis saying Doohan's a mid-tier driver at best. Putting him right down to earth there. Andrew's putting for a Hamilton win. It's going to be difficult coming from 14th. Zachary says, how has Australia developed such a good racing culture? Well, I know in New Zealand there was a guy who mentored a lot of the drivers, supported them financially, who I think died last year. Obviously, I spent time with some New Zealanders. I spent time with Mitch Evans and Nick Cassidy in Italy and in the championship final. Some really interesting opportunities there for content for me to make. Amy wants Max to win, misses the Dutch Anthem. Don't worry, you're going to be hearing the Dutch Anthem a lot this season, I'm sure. Black is in the house. Sharkin, I'm going to sell the F1 baby seat in my profile pic. It's from Italy, 0 to 1 years. How much are you going to sell that for? Is it official? Still just saying, let's go Lando. Quite a lot of carbon fibre on the body of the Ferrari. Unpainted carbon fibre down the side pod. Possibly with holes in it for venting, which is interesting. Welcome Kat at UG Susie K as well. Dark Cloud saying Doohan has plenty of play money to do anything. Got that sponsor money. Big lineage as well. And Isabel saying the F2 championship win seems kind of useless. Yeah, well, we know Theo Pourchaire has had a big drama in America, hasn't he? And before him, Felipe Drugovich, who's now... What's Drugovich up to? Is he in... Did he get a WEC drive? Obviously an Aston Martin junior. Aston Martin coming into hyperclass car finally with the Valkyrie. So I can't remember if he's going to be part of the effort there. Ozfrog saying Shane Van Gisbergen. See, that's why we need like proper racer champions. In fact, I spent a lot of time with Lucas Blakely, 2 times F1 esports winner, and he was telling me about his time at their racer champions, racing, I think, David Coulthard, Sebastian Vettel, and just giving a bit of insight of race champions. I think it'd be cool for that to be a bigger thing. Mixtures of disciplines. Chris Fells, almost time for your iRacer. I was on iRacing yesterday. If you saw my CRP2 pedal video, I just need to make a few adjustments, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time in iRacing there because it's such a nice setup I've got. Really lucky with that setup. It's super easy for me to turn on, record. Maybe the King and Queen are on the grid because there's a big huddle. I don't know what the King and Queen look like. There's a guy with a beard and sort of straw hair and a beige suit. So I don't know if that's the King of the Netherlands. Christian Horner wants a word, but Martin Brundle wasn't really interested. Christian Horner probably on a bit of a PR mission. Drugovich is doing WEC with Aston Martin. There we go. Drugovich, Aston Martin. Yeah, I'd love to see drivers like Louis Delatraz, who I've also spent some time with. You know, just be able to prove it against established drivers. What that means is the established drivers have more to lose. Like, if you were to put Logan Sargent in there... Oh, there's a Sky Sports tie-up here. Is the name going to flash up? Yes, it does. Jill Scott. See, this is not an accident. Sky know who they're going to... It's all planned. It's all planned, and then the celebrity gets pushed by the Mindos looking for Marta Brundle, and then and it's all like... It's all Sky promo. Like, this is cross-promotion for their football programme. Max Futral's here, maybe? Is that Max Futral? I can't remember. If it was, I beat him on Forza. If you saw my Forza stream with Jimmy Broadbent and Max Futral, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Welcome Lucy as well. So it's been absolutely rambling. Absolutely rambling. That's the King and Queen, okay. Zoe, I hate it when I have to act professional and polite to my boyfriend doing work, but I don't want to be fired on my 3rd day of work at Red Bull. Wow. Well, definitely stay professional. Don't want to do a Jermaine Genus. Best Gillette puns. Yeah, it was a smooth stream. I'm not sure why I'm partnered, or Gillette have decided to partner with me, but, you know, fair play. National Anthem of the Netherlands performed by Duncan Lawrence. Who's Duncan Lawrence? Is he some English guy? Big Dunk doing the Dutch anthem. Fair enough. It's about like the Gillette Forza stream. Max Futral's anywhere landed. Yeah, Max Futral is like the opposite of a restraining order. He can never be more than 100 yards away from Lando Norris. Lewis, Australia has less of a good racing culture and more of a ruthless racing culture. The limited money in Australia means you got a lot of pressure. Isn't that movie about karting? Isn't there a karting movie? Is that set in Australia? I can't remember. Welcome Laura Lynch as well. Apparently Hans Klok, a famous Dutch magician, is also there. Very nice. Alonso's wearing his full rain jacket. Duncan Lawrence is a singer. I established that much. I mean, it'd be very bold to do your national anthem of your F1 race with someone who can't sing. I would actually massively rate that. Amy says Lando Wag is there. I don't know who Lando Wag is. Jackie Stewart's there. He could probably still jump in one of these and come mid-table. Jerry, what would you like to have an F1 race in the Philippines? I would love to have an F1 race in the Philippines. I think that'd be great. I'd love to have an F1 race in the Philippines. I'd love to have an F1 race in Malaysia. I'd love to have an F1 race in South Africa. I'd love to have an F1 race in sort of like, you know, somewhere like Angola or Nigeria or Ghana or somewhere. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so many places. I'm not clued up on the WAG front, I'm afraid. Duncan won Eurovision. I'm really not there. I don't have the Eurovision news. Welcome Joe Mercedes again. Gracing is with the main channel. Welcome back. FOM is in talks for Rwanda. Yes, maybe we will all be visiting Rwanda in the end anyway. Finland. I think F1 should start a season and you race pretty much throughout the season, one every other week. And it's a proper season that you can follow. But we'll see. F1 Seattle. Not sure we need any more in the US. Chat, there's only 12 minutes to go. SVG is going full-time in NASCAR. So what do we think? Do we think he's going to clean up in NASCAR? F1 race in Madagascar, not sure. Joe Mercedes, I do hope Perez has a good race day, but I highly doubt it because he's pulled off sluggish performances. Yes. Is F1 ever going to Vietnam? I heard it's back on the menu. Maybe that's Thailand. Maybe Thailand's back on the menu. I think Formula E might be going to Vietnam, which would be very cool. I would definitely put my hand up for that. F1 in Bucharest. F1 in Romania. Be interesting. F1 in Turkey would be great. South African Youth Sports Minister has suggested he'd like F1 to return to South Africa. That'd be great. Kailami. F1 in the streets of London. Maybe F1 at the Excel Centre. We're very close now, by the way, to start. Let's do a nations check, chat. Let's amp it up with a nations check. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Is it going to be a home win for the Netherlands? So if you're watching, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Zachary's already in there, Indiana. Let's see. I wonder if it's going to be a big dub here for the Netherlands. Here we go. Netherlands coming straight in. Black saying, how you doing? We're doing great. Shark in UK, Isabel Germany, DMZ Zimbabwe, 2 Canadas coming in together, then 2 USAs, Barbados, Australia, South Africa, UK, Netherlands, Denmark, Philippines, UK, Croatia, Netherlands, USA. Hang on, I think USA might be getting this potentially. Theodorus van der Oosthuizen from South Africa, Ian Griesbach from Kailami, South Africa, Paul from Quebec. So I've got another one from Canada. I was going to go to Canada actually. Raw Talk Australia, Kuwait Netherlands, Cambodia, Washington, Vietnam, Rory in the house, Brian in Santiago, Chile, Simon's in Romania, Catty Netherlands, Zoe Netherlands, Kurt from Namibia. So from where are you declaring for? Renette Hamilton from South Africa. I think South Africa's looking pretty strong here as well. Joe, UK, Zilda, Monaco. Very nice. Okay, so I don't know who's going to win that one, chap. I think, is it a win for the Netherlands? Lando Norris, helmet on, by the way, already. We're getting very, very, very close now. Very close. Jaren's watching from North Korea. Mark, just stay, honestly, just feel free to stay subscribed. You don't need to, it's okay, it doesn't cost you anything. It's not a monthly subscription, it's completely free. It's on the house. Welcome back, Mark. Ian says South Africa. Lewis says, I think the South Africans win. No win, but it just shows how worldwide we are. Okay. Mark, no, long time no watch. Indeed. Okay, we are getting close now. Just 8 minutes to go till the start. 72 laps at Zandvoort. And how is it going to be between the McLarens and the Red Bull? Remember, in the sort of second half of the first half of the season, the dynamic was that Verstappen would be leading, but then the McLarens would come back. So are we going to see that on tyre wear? Are we going to see the McLarens be better on tyre wear? That's another workday makes you a rock star. At workday, I don't think workday does make you a rock star. You're still going to be doing spreadsheets. Don't be a finance and HR rock star. Yes, please, please, please. Let's hit those likes. We can get to 100 likes. I think light target will do 500. Renette's furthest south in Cape Town. In the Cape. Korean DMZ Grand Prix. What a way that could be to bring North and South Korea together there, potentially. There's adverts for companies, I have no idea what they are. But what is Paolo Alto AI? Ian says, let's go racing. Yeah, we're going to go racing imminently. Imminently time to go racing here in the Netherlands. Pete would love seeing F1 race at Laguna Seca. I would as well. It'd be great to see him go down the corkscrew. I feel like the McLaren and Red Bull were the only ones fighting in this race. I agree. I think it's going to be between the McLarens and a Red Bull, actually. So I think my boyfriend will win today. Let us know who your boyfriend is, Zoe, so we can support. Do they know? Do they know? Assume yes. Is he, I'm watching from Curacao, pronounced Curacao? If only I'd read the whole thing before. Curacao. Is it all blue? Is the water blue there, like the Curacao liquor? Arjas Bali, Indonesia checking in. F1 at Mandalika, Lombok. Very nice. Indonesia. Very international today. What's new to Laguna Seca? Heard they got in trouble. I think people bought flats or something near Laguna Seca, then they complained about track. Which I think seems, to me anyway, to be a little bit silly. That's just me, though. King is very excited for the GP. You know, I was thinking on Friday. I think it's Friday night. I realised it's a bank holiday weekend. I was like, oh, it's a bank holiday weekend. I had no idea. So I looked. I thought, how could you fly tonight or tomorrow morning anywhere in the world from London and it'd be really cheap? And it wasn't cheap at all. Like, you couldn't fly anywhere. I'd always assumed that like truly last minute you could fly places cheaply, but maybe it's not a thing. Does anyone know how to fly places really last minute very cheaply? Or is it they keep them for business seats? Race time already, Mia? Yes, it is. We're already here.
Okay, crack on.
Zoe, my boyfriend is an F1 driver, but I can't say his name. Well, hang on. Can we deduce it? Are we allowed to deduce? Amy praying nobody crashes race, hoping Checo will stay in the top 5. I think it'd be a feel-good story for Checo. I think we'd all like Perez to finish his Red Bull story on a high, right, rather than being a meme. Ian would give up his whole paycheck for Kyalani. You have to have Wednesday off to fly cheap. What do you mean Wednesday off? I think Wednesday will just go to the airport. I did think about going to the airport because now we can do these streams remotely. As we've done them. We've done them in different places. Aaron looks dry. Had a bit of a storm like Netherlands. Yeah, it does look dry at the moment. With just 3.5 minutes to go. Crypto triple 27, triple 32s. Go triple 32s. You won't regret it. I got a 32 here. Or just go VR. Slap the VR headset on. And then you got quadruples. Mia, my girlfriend, is a supermodel, but I can't say her name as well. Goodness me, everyone's got celebrated other partners here. Mikosi, just run through and get on the plane. Why do banks get a holiday? I'm not complaining. I got a holiday. Although I don't get a holiday from this. It's an opportunity for me to do more than this. It's quite exciting. I'm planning to race a lot on Monday in VR, actually. Mashaben, Norris and Max take each other out 1-2 for Mercedes. If it 1-2 for Mercedes, have you seen where Lewis Hamilton's starting, my friend? T72, a random dude had a commercial flight all to himself during COVID. KCR Simba in the house. Welcome, KCR Simba, big member of the community on ACC. KCR Simba, I'm going to be doing a lot of ACC and iRacing tomorrow. And, oh, I've forgotten. And I'm doing something very exciting with a new... something new around that. Ooh. Yes. That could be very exciting. Okay, so I've got that to look forward to as well. This is one of the shortest tracks. It's quite a short track, yeah, 72 laps. RJ says, happily married with a son and a daughter. Very nice. Aren't the first and last minute tickets? I assumed at the very last minute, if there's a plane going and there's seats in it, they'd rather get something. Maybe I'm wrong. Where do you think Lewis will end up? I'm going to guess he's going to end up at Ferrari. Snowline in the house. I have cats with bizarre Hawaiian names. I think you need to let us know what the names are. Good to see Snowline in the house as well. Joe, Russell possibly might get ahead of Perez in the constructors if Perez has not finished in top 5 or top 10. Yeah, but, you know, it doesn't look like the Red Bull is absolutely bulletproof as it seemed definitely last season and the beginning of this season. Remember the beginning of this season, Red Bull was still dominant. And honestly, I think that moment in Melbourne was quite shocking when Verstappen had the brake issue and the fire. Because he would, if he'd won that race, he would have had a bit of a bupper, but Sainz did overtake him, didn't he? And then Carlos Sainz got the appendix. It was all chop and change at the beginning. No, where will he end up today? Oh. I think top 10. I think the best he can do is probably 8th. I think Hamilton and 8th would be a good result for him. Emmo says Piastri P1, let's go. Chat, we're very close now. We're very close to starting the race. I wonder when Tsunoda will peak. Tsunoda has not yet reached his final form. It's the ending message. So, the cars are on the grid. It's just a few mechanics and tyre warmers on. We're imminently going to get underway. Mia, I think Lando is going to go arms out at the beginning of the lap. We will see. So, welcome along, everyone. There are clouds in the sky. There are clouds in the sky, and it is right on the coast track. Masturbane says, unfortunately, Tsunoda is washed. I don't think you can accuse Tsunoda of being washed this season. I mean, he's out-qualified Ricciardo again. So the question is, if Tsunoda's washed, what on earth is Daniel Ricciardo? Tyre warmers about to come off the cars here. It'd help if I was absolutely live. Zoe, more arts on the Instagram. There we go. It's always good to have Zoe in the chat. Feels like a proper stream. Libby, interesting. Lando has ever kept first in the first lap of the race when starting pole position. The formation lap is underway, by the way. The formation lap is underway. And possible race strategy is either a one-stop or a two-stop. So what's going to be interesting is tyre choice. Will anyone have started on the hards, or will people be going medium hards? Izzy says, good luck, everyone. Yolanda, yes, but just white clouds, not great. Yolanda is our... Okay, I'm going to leave the weather to Yolanda, because I think Yolanda's a lot more of an expert than I am. I don't really... I just see clouds, and I'm like, oh, something could happen. But Yolanda knows, so white clouds, not grey rain clouds. It's Netherlands, there's always clouds. Jimmy, I believe that Russell wins. He's too strong. It would be huge if Russell were to win this. We haven't really spoken about George Russell. He's in the thumbnail, but we haven't spoken about him. So he's not a Leclerc, a Flan Shark, and all the regular faces. Yeah, welcome along. By the way, if you want to be a regular face, please do hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. I know probably pretty much everyone is, but if you're not, hit it. You won't regret it. We're trying to get to 100k subscribers. You can see we're very, very, very close now. Will we see a one-stop? Yeah, I think we'll see a one-stop. Mark Johnson house. You haven't let us know what you're drinking, Mark Johnson. It's not the usual Mark Johnson introduction. Okay, so formation lap is underway. So what's going to happen is you're going to see on the live timings, it's going to go live before I catch up on mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep watching the races I see, and then I'll sync up with you because the cars are already forming up on the grid. So chat, here we go. Welcome along. This is going to be it. Your watch along for the 2024 Dutch GP, and imminently in real life the cars are going to be making their way off the grid, and then I will let you know what's happening and catch up. Apparently 305,000 people at a track. That's basically half of the Netherlands. Is that basically like a tenth of the Netherlands or something? So imminently you'll probably see the cars make their move. It's a long time. There we go. So the cars are making their way. I'm going to wait for the pictures. I'm going to wait for the pictures and sync up. But here we go. The last car to pull up will be Logan Sargent because Kevin Magnussen is starting from the pits. The marshal with the green flag walks across the back. 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Red lights go out. Will Lando Norris keep pole position going into first corner? I don't think so. It's a terrible start for Lando. He's bottled it. Lando's bottled it. Lando's absolutely bottled that one. Verstappen's in the lead. Verstappen's in the lead. Lando's plebbed it. And Piastri leaves it out to Russell. It's not a good start from the McLarens at all. And there's a Ferrari trying to get after Piastri as well. That'll be Charles Leclerc. Oh my goodness me. What's happening for McLaren? Chat, Lando's plebbed it. And Piastri's lost out as well. That puts George Russell in the picture. It's a disaster for McLaren. Disaster, 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 disaster. Yeah, sorry, there'll be a little bit of latency. But there we go, Verstappen. But I'll actually be ahead of you now. Don't worry about that. I'll be ahead of you. Because we can see Verstappen is in the lead and already 1.2 seconds ahead of Lando Norris. So Verstappen not messing around. It's so good to be back, by the way, in the watch along. I knew it. Lando is doomed. But let me know in chat if you instinctively knew that Lando was not going to... It was such a bad start. And he was already on the outside. P1's on the outside, so... Shrey, Lando never starts great. P, Lando sucks at start. Bob, hate to say it, but predictable from Bottle Job Lando. Well, he's made it super difficult for himself, but it's not over yet if you're a Papaya fan or a Lando Norris fan. Because Lando is probably still in a decent position. However, there was a race recently where he said he lost it off the start. I can't remember which one that was, but if you remember... He said, I basically lost the whole race off the start. So has that happened again? And Piastri dropping back off George Russell here as well, it seems. Nate Dowg says, known for whiffing starts, right? Yeah. Brinther Lando can't handle the heat. Feel like Lando Norris should work for Coke. Why? Because it's the real thing? Mark, it's good to be back. And Mark, just stay subscribed, Mark. You won't. I just promise you won't regret it. Nico Sono says he's not developed the nerves of steel. Oh my goodness, there's an Aston Martin going side by side with an RB. No, sorry, it's a Mercedes going side by side with an RB Caster. That'll be Lewis Hamilton making his way up, surely. Yeah, Hamilton already up into P12, getting past Tsunoda. So Hamilton on the move. Carlos Sainz has got ahead of Lance Stroll. Pierre Gasly's up there in P7. And Piastri now is going to be putting the pressure back on George Russell. Only 4 tenths behind. There will be DRS down the home straight. You'll see cars... Probably going quite defensive. Sharka says, behave, Mark. We see you. Isabel Paflug. Lando is never beating the bottling allegations now. Worst pole to win the conversion than Leclerc. Akash says, Lando is the Arsenal football team of F1. It's probably more like Tottenham. What do we think of Lando? Fill out Lando bots it always. Ricky seems everyone on the left side of the grid got a bad start. It's not, honestly. It could be a dusty side of the grid. Lando just seemed to... He got moving. It wasn't a delayed start, but it's almost like he was driving in slow motion. Welcome, Mr. Crowley and Daniel Osmers as well. Welcome to the crew. Great to have you on board. Sergio Perez is going to be putting the pressure on Charles Leclerc. Is Perez going to get past Charles Leclerc? You kind of need to do it down the home straight. Otherwise, it's very tight and twisty. Unless you're going to go for a big one in the Banky Boy. Do you remember Fernando Alonso last year at the start of the race? Into that big bank corner. He overtook like 3 cars in one go, didn't he? Hamilton's dead serious right now. Will probably finish at least P8, P5. Hamilton on the move and P12. Fastest sector 3 out of anybody on circuit as well. Next up for him is Nico Hulkenberg. You think that might be a straightforward one down the straight? Yes, welcome to the new subscribers. Great to have you. Rob Craig getting worse than Norris. PTSD from 5 lights at this point. He sees him in his dreams. You know, Lando has sleep paralysis when he sees 5 lights go out. Great start for Hamilton. Zilda, boss doesn't let you see the race. Wait, Zilda, put your boss in chat. We'll have a word with him. Philo says, Kireth is a max of watchalongs. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Fading horribly. It's beach time for Vlatka. Racing here on the beach. Vlatka Wilson on the beach. It's beach times. Okay, what are we looking at in terms of Sergio Perez dropped off Charles Leclerc now? Maybe we'll need to recharge and go for another attack. Marie Hudson House. Hi guys, missed the beginning again. Love to everyone. Don't worry, you just missed Lando bottling it. And Piastri's now having to try to get back on George Russell. So we'll see that. Is there inherent McLaren pace? Also wake paralysis. Shy, wasn't it Leclerc said Nightmare said Bottas? Was that going back to Monaco times? Kati Uji with nothing in the message. I've never seen that before. It's a blank message unless I've missed it. What tyres is Lewis on? Very good point. Lewis Hamilton is on the soft tyre. Great point. Hamilton, Tsunoda, Bottas on the soft tyre, everyone. Hamilton, Tsunoda, Bottas on the soft tyre. Okay. So, 2 stop for Lewis Hamilton then. That inverts it. Hamilton does need to be getting a move on. You can see the lap times here as well. Kevin Magnussen from the pits in clean air at the moment is lapping faster than the leaders. So, and Kevin Magnussen is lapping fast leaders on hard tyres. Hang on. Have Haas done a blinder here with K-Mag? They've taken the penalty. It probably hasn't cost them too much. And are they just going to flow through everyone as everyone else boxes? Because K-Mag can go long on the hard tyres. Keep an eye on that. 16.8 this time around, a little bit slower. Scantron Beats, hey bud, been following you since getting my fan test set up. First time watching commentary. Welcome Scantron Beats, good to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying the fan test setup. I was using my V3s yesterday. Lewis, big risk going softs earlier given the chance of a red flag. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. No, I don't think it is a good point. I think if it's a red flag... Oh, sorry, not a red flag. If it's a safety car... Oh, a red flag's different. If it's a safety car, it's good because you can come in, you've made some overtakes, and you can get on the harder time. Maybe try and go to the end or something. Try and convert to a one stop. A red flag's different, like we saw in Monaco. It's a cat message. 4 laps in and already pretty big gaps. I wonder if this is going to lead to a bit of traffic as well. Look where Verstappen is compared to where Kevin Magnussen is right now. So traffic could play a part. Lando spun the rears too much on the start. The fancy camera angle wasn't going to save him. It's the FIA they did it. They wanted to get a nice view of Verstappen from the back. Hamilton is stuck on the DRS train, so Hamilton can't get past because everyone ahead of him has got DRS. Marie, miss you over some break. Best watch along on YouTube. No worries. We're back now. And, I mean, there's so much content coming out on the channel. If you enjoy it, and if you really enjoy the motorsport stuff, make sure you're subscribed to the motorsport channel. Like, do not miss it. There's a lot of stuff coming on the motorsport channel from all the events I've been to and everything, and F1 podcasts are on there as well. So if you like this, you want to see more of me covering it, make sure you subscribe to the motorsport channel. I'm sure Mod will put a link in the description. It's really cool to see. I know Isabel's been in there commenting. Oh, K-Mag went deep at the start. K-Mag went deep. Kevin Magnussen somehow went all the way deep into the gravel trap and had to go around the back, but he's still not too far off the back, which I find very surprising. Orange Drones, Barley here. Watch along. Welcome to Barley as well. Got someone else watching from Barley, was pretty cool. Charles UT official saying, come on, Perez, only a Ferrari, you can easily pass that track test. So, Carlos Sainz has just got past Fernando Alonso. So, Carlos Sainz on the move. And it looks like Hulkenberg's putting pressure on Stroll as well. And Piastri's dropped off George Russell. And here we go, the gap at the front now. This is it. So, Lando Norris, 1.3 seconds behind, but trying to turn the screw. Remember, Lando has a line through Sector 1 that it looks like no one else can really match with. At least that's what we saw in qualifying. So keep an eye on the Lando to Verstappen gap. Michael says K-Mac in the deep state once again. Very nice for next trade. Yeah, they got the run off there. We saw it a lot last year in the rain. Sergio Perez went off there, I think, as well. Amy, not hoping for red flags today. Very sensible. No danger for any of the drivers. Obviously, this is where Daniel Ricciardo also broke his wrist, which set in train a interesting sequence of events last season. So, 1.4 is still the gap. Lando Norris just going a little bit faster than Max Verstappen last time around. Carlos Sainz already all over the back of Pierre Gasly. So it looks like the Ferraris have pace. And actually Leclerc has caught up with Piastri. So I don't know what's going on with McLaren's here. It might be difficult for them to keep the tyres in the window. Norris says, who are we racing? Do you think it's just Max? And I think Lando's saying, I think we're racing whoever... I'm not sure. The conversations between Lando and his engineer are very weird. It's sometimes hard to work out who's the engineer and who's Lando. But you can infer here that Carlos Sainz is on the move. Remember, he's only just overtaken Alonso, and now he's already on the back of Gasly. And therefore, Charles Leclerc is also on the back of Piastri. Maybe the Ferraris can do something here. Isabel saying, where does Charles find the pace? Is wearing Ferrari merch finally working out for me? You got to wear that. Got to wear that Tifosi merch now from now on, Isabel. Ended saying the Alonso train is officially leaving the station. All aboard, and let's see who's got tickets. Lance Stroll's got a ticket. Nico Hülkenberg's got a ticket. Lewis Hamilton's got a ticket, and Yuki Tsunoda's got a ticket. Congratulations, lads. Hope you get a window seat. Welcome, Natasha. Good to see you. Welcome, Briarwood as well. Do you believe that Ferrari finished fourth in the championship? Well, they're third at the moment. Goes Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari in the constructors. There we go. Chai's put the Kireth Motorsport link in there. So if you want to see more motorsport, including sometimes FP3 streams, make sure you just pop over there now, hit subscribe, and pop back. Because the gap from Verstappen to Lando Norris is 1.4 seconds. So it looks like Lando might be managing that gap. Lando having a much better time here than Piastri. So Lando's able to extract a bit more at the car than Piastri at the track. And Hamilton saying that he's too slow on the straight. So Hamilton containing his... But he has got past Nico Hülkenberg. It's now just Lance Stroll. And the gap between Verstappen and Lando Norris stays at 1.5 seconds. So the question is, for these drivers on the medium tyres, we're already on lap 10. Who's going to blink first and try and go on the hards to the end? And where's it going to put you? If you're someone like Verstappen or Lando, do you think you can come out in a gap just behind sort of Sergio Perez? But you definitely want to come out, ahead of Fernando Alonso. You don't want to end up in the Alonso train. Michael Norris talking to engineers, a bit like Gollum talking to sometimes, my precious. Jay, the McLaren could be managing his tyres. We saw this in Austria. Oliver Oaks, now the team principal of Alpine. I seem to remember him as a driver, Oliver Oaks. Now the team principal. Do I stream FT races too? Not at the moment, but if I did, I probably would stream on the Motorsport channel. We'd just be very, very, very chilled out. And Carlos Sainz was all in the slipstream of Gasly. Little bit of a lock-up going into turn one. Oh, might have been a bit of banging of wheels there. Gasly did not want to give that up at all. It's great battling between Sainz and Gasly. And Sainz needs to get his elbows out. Carlos Sainz gets ahead of Pierre Gasly, but Gasly did not want to give that up. Remember, Alpine have had a podium here fairly recently. So Gasly's not messing around. He really did fight that. And Leclerc being told we're on plan A. So Leclerc's not on plan B, he's on plan A. Lewis says great overtake. It was a great overtake from Carlos Sainz because at one stage it looked like he'd lost it. It's a track where you're on the inside for one corner, but you end up on the outside for the next one. Really exciting to watch. Carlos Sainz dove up the inside, little puff of a lock-up, side by side with Gasly through turn one. That meant Gasly had the inside for the next corner. And then Carlos Sainz got ahead and just sort of ran Gasly out of road before the banking corner. Very smart there from Carlos Sainz, very streetwise. Have to say, remember that Lewis Hamilton's on the soft tyre here. And he's now lapping a second a lap slower than the leaders because he's in the Alonso train. Look at the lap times there. Look at Pierre Gasly, how much he lost out last lap. 1 minute 19.4, losing that battle with Carlos Sainz as it becomes overcast at the circuit. Joe Mercedes saying Gasly is getting stronger now since the summer break. And Chris hoping McLaren's pit strategy is solid this race. Chat, who do we think is going to win this race? Verstappen in the lead, Lando 1.2 seconds behind. Chat, who do we think is going to win? Let me know in the chat here. Because I think Lando Norris is gearing up to get it within DRS distance on lap 13. Crazy Aid notes that Hamilton's upper place, that's from a little while ago. He still needs to get past the Aston Martins here. Mark says Verstappen. So do we think Verstappen's going to win this race? Or is Lando just able to manage it? Maybe getting a little bit of slipstream benefit? Phil says Max. Chai, I hope Max, but early to tell. Jay, Lando's waking up. The real Christ just joining the Max take turn 1. Yes, he did. Piastri, I think, get confused. Said I thought we meant plan B. I thought we meant the rapper. Chris Vale saying Piastri. Lewis saying I think Norris again at the end. Catty saying Max. Natasha saying Max. Prozimi Max will probably win. Well, 1.1. When that gap goes down to a second, Lando's going to get that DRS. As Alex Albon pits early. Albon pits very, very, very early. So what's Albon up to? Is that a change onto the hard tyre? Or is that a 2-stop? Let's try and find out. So Alex Albon boxes extremely early here. And is that going to cause a cascade of pit stops? So he came in, he took off the mediums, and he went onto the hards. So Albon might be trying to go for a 1-stop quite early. It was a 2.6 second stop from Williams. Quite a good stop there. Alex Albon goes from mediums onto hard tyres on lap 14. Or for him, it would have been lap 13. There we go. So is Alex Albon thinking, hang on, I've looked at the maximum pace, I'm going to get to the end on these tyres, in which case are people going to box well? Norris probably plan A, plan B might be a way to beat Max. Norris saying, yeah, the pace is strong. Honestly, when I'm racing with an engineer, I just prefer to be told, have a clear allocation of responsibility. Either I take control or I let the engineer take control. But they obviously have a different rule of engagement with Lando at McLaren, where it's a bit of a mother's meeting every time they're on the radio. Fair enough. No one's going to complain if it works. Chris Frost saying, come on, Logan Sargent up in P17. Hamilton passes Stroll. Great observation there from Mia. Lewis Hamilton has got past Lance Stroll now. And one more for Alonso Verstappen. The car doesn't turn at all on turn 10. So Verstappen not too happy. And Lando is now basically within a second. It's very close. Charles says, hey brother, you look great in a papaya shirt. Try a Red Bull shirt. Now, this is a Red Bull shirt, my friend. I've done it already. I changed since you wrote the comment. Welcome Professor of Logic as well. Yeah, Verstappen complaining on the radio. How much that is legit, I don't know. But Norris, I don't know why it's counting Verstappen as having done less laps on tyres than Norris, unless Lando had a scrub set of 1 lap. So there we go, Nico Hülkenberg and Yuki Tsunoda from the upper midfield box. So were they drivers on soft tyres? Are they going to go softs to hards? Maybe they're going to go onto the hards now. This is going to be very interesting to watch, because then there would have been no real penalty perhaps, unless you're going to suffer with deg at the end on the hards, from starting on the soft tyre. So Hülkenberg and Tsunoda pit. So what are we going to see? Are we going to see Lance Stroll need to pit to cover that off? Because otherwise Lance Stroll might be worried about being undercut. Hamilton climbing. Yes, indeed. Hamilton P10 right now. Lando's happy with the tyres. Nate Dagger's happy as well. So let's see what happens with the likes of Lance Stroll. Are we going to see anyone else surprisingly pit earlier than we expected and get onto those hards? What do you do if you're George Russell? You're sitting in P3 right now. Do you stick or twist? Piastri, Leclerc, Perez go through. Carlos Sainz will go through as well, surely. Gasly will go through. But will the Aston Martins do something here? Keep an eye on the Aston Martins, or will they stick to plan? What's Lance Stroll going to do? Does Lance Stroll go through? Yes, he does. No pit for Lance Stroll. Daniel Ricciardo, are you going to pit? No. Bottas, Ocon, Sargent, Magnussen. Bottas pits. So Bottas pits from that midfield there. Let's see where Bottas is going to come out relative to Albon. You can see there, it looks like Albon's gained quite a bit there. He's already up with Tsunoda and Hülkenberg, and Hülkenberg was there or thereabouts with Lewis Hamilton. Alex Albon sets the fastest lap out of anyone last lap, 15.5 on the hard tyres. So it looks like the hard tyres are working, and particularly for Williams. Is that going to put anyone else under pressure? I think that's going to scare some drivers into boxing earlier from the midfield. Let me know what you think. Crazy 8 says Hülkenberg on hards and Tsunoda on mediums. So Tsunoda on mediums, yes indeed. So Tsunoda therefore committing to a 2-stop. And unless these are drivers doing a 2-stop, but they're using the hards instead of mediums for at least one of the stints. Chris, best overtake I've seen Sargent do up into P14 now for the GOAT. And look at the gap between Lando and Verstappen is 0.5 seconds now. There's a big gap. I don't know if Verstappen has an issue, had a mistake, but 6/10 between Verstappen and Lando Norris in the last lap is happening now. I wonder if Verstappen's going to have enough of this and decide, you know what, I'm going to box. I'm going to try and get out of the fire here. I'm going to try and box. Let's see. Amy, Logan getting points for the rest of the season would be awesome for me.
Okay, crack on.
So, Lando Norris now drops a little bit, back down to a second, but it's going to ebb and flow. I think clearly Lando has the ability to make those gaps on Max Verstappen at his home circuit. There's no one else really boxes in that midfield. Sharkin says slow, Verstappen slower. Keep an eye on those sector times as well. This time around, Lando's actually slower than Verstappen in the first 2 sectors, but it looks like he might have brought it back. Verstappen, my tyres are just numb. They don't grip. Verstappen sounding frustrated, maybe coming out with excuses. Racing drivers like to make a lot of excuses. Everything is so logical. It must be the tyres. It must be this. It must be that. Pineapple saying Lewis is the GOAT. Yolanda saying now Max doesn't like his tyres. Yeah, let's see. Norris in the lead. It's happened, everyone. Norris in the lead down the home straight. I'm going to let you know they came into the banking on the last corner. DRS wide open for Lando Norris. Did Verstappen go to the inside? He made a half a move but didn't really defend. And it was a pro former standard move for Lando Norris, moving into the lead in turn 1, using a bit of the camber as well. So Lando Norris is now in the lead of the Grand Prix. So your new race leader is Lando Norris. So what does Verstappen do now? It does feel like there's been a bit of a changing of the guard in Formula 1, and the McLaren is now the fastest car. This is the question now, Lando. You bottled the start, you plebbed it. Can you win from here? Chat, what do we think? Do we think Lando's going to win from here? Can Lando see this through? It felt like Verstappen made a little half move. He did. He almost jinked a little bit to put Lando off, and then tried to keep his line on the outside. Interesting strat there. Michael Lando and no dive bombing. So in the end, like I said, it was a pretty standard pass up the inside. And now Lando Norris becomes the hunted. Chaya, it's just too early to tell. Richard Fulmer says, passing Max and track just becoming a regular. Welcome, Giera Maron. Great to have you on board. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these and not miss out. It's a great community we've got here. The best community, F1 watch-alongs. Why is Bottas at the bottom? Well, he's boxed. Norris saying, what's the plan from here? And Lando being told, how are the tyres? And Lando saying, I think okay. They feel pretty reasonable. I'm consistent. Lando, we think we might just try... He might try and undercut, but that's cool. Yes, and now Verstappen as Zhou Guan Yu pits. And unfortunately, it looks like a very long stop for Zhou Guan Yu. I think Zhou Guan Yu might be in trouble here in the stake. But I wonder if Verstappen will try and spook Norris into an undercut. Into covering an undercut. It's 1 second at the moment. So, the options here for Verstappen are stay in the slip. But if you think the undercut's worth more than a second, then actually go for the undercut, box, and before Lando can respond to you, because Lando won't be able to box, you can box once you know Lando's gone past, you might be able to get ahead if you think you're going to be able to hold that lap after lap. So that would be the way that this would become an all-time great race, is if Max Verstappen backs himself, undercuts Lando, gets ahead of Lando, and then when Lando boxes, Verstappen stays ahead, and then Verstappen defends like a madman. That's what we'd love to see. But if they don't back themselves, they might want to play the long game here and just make sure that they see through a P2, because frankly, the rest of the season could finish like this, and I think Verstappen would probably still hold on to his championship lead. Welcome Omar Zia. Welcome Hannah McGarry as well. Good to see regulars. Isabel saying Sauber is such a banter team. Yeah, Zhou Guan Yu, Norris. It felt like my brakes are going long. There's a lot more wind. So it looks like Norris is sort of panicking a little bit. He's not doing a zoned in, just leave me alone. I'm just going to hit my delta. He's yapping on the radio a lot. Pozzo got that like button smashed completely. Can we get some repairs over on the like button, please? I hear it's been utterly destroyed by PotZ0422. Osrog, will Haas be allowed to leave Lebanon after the race? I don't know why. I don't think there's an international arrest warrant out from the ICJ from Haas, but if there was, it's not a long way to The Hague. So, pros and cons there. Peeve, Hamilton closing in on Gasly. Amazing drive so far. Where is Hamilton? Yeah, Hamilton's got past Alonso. Now going to make a move on Gasly. Now someone spotted. The soft tyres are really standing up. Isabel saying, I think Max will pit first. Let's keep an idea. It's gone to 1.6 seconds now. So I think they probably committed to go long. From Australia, welcome along. Mark, I can't push like twice, but you can just stay subscribed, Mark. You can stay subscribed. Don't press like twice. Norris, brakes wise, everything fine from our end. Norris saying, yeah, it's okay. I think it's win. So Lando's seeing ghosts at the moment. First saying Lando pulling away. Zoe, sorry I left for a bit. I hope I don't miss anything. No, you have missed anything, Zoe. Great to have you back. Rebel, is dirtier a big factor here? I think it would be through these twisty bits and the wind coming in. It's a bit, not that I play golf, but it's a bit like a links golf course, I imagine. 2 seconds now between Lando and Max. So this could be the tipping point. I think we're inverted now. We're in the upside down. It's now Lando's really to lose. It's Lando's to lose. Abby pulling in the garage with Alpine. I spoke to her at Formula E in my grid walk interview. Has everyone seen my grid walk videos from Formula E? Go check them out on the channel after this if you haven't, and if you sound like you might find it interesting, just go to my channel, click videos and scroll down, browse at your leisure. Crazy just popped up on my TV saying hard tyres lasting 27 to 33 laps. On that basis, a hard tyre, you won't be able to do a one-stop then, and you wouldn't even be able to do a two-stop. You wouldn't quite be able to do a two-stop there. No, hang on, I'm being an idiot. You wouldn't be able to do one stop, but you would be able to do two stop. Mass is, yeah, just mass things. Joe, Max is falling down. Mohammed Ali says, get in there, Lewis. Salvage is saying, got a superior car. Yes, indeed. I don't know if one of the mods, if we can get an update for the ticker tape, maybe, on the Lando start, as Piastri and Leclerc are really battling. So Leclerc's still all over the back of Piastri like a bad rash. Welcome Hussein and Shorebird, good to have you on board. Lee says, I think Hamilton now struggling on the soft, so he's dropped off Gasly a little bit. He's obviously got a target to hit with those soft tyres and get there. Mia says, Gasly is stupid, his race is not with Lewis, but with Alonso losing time. Yeah, look at the Verstappen-Lando gap now. Lando just stretching his legs. It almost doesn't matter that he bottled the start. The car is just so much better right now. Which is why it's surprising that Piastri's under so much pressure from Charles Leclerc. But remember, different setups might be really geared towards Lando as Logan Sargent boxes. Amy says, let's go Oscar and Logan. Well, your boy is, well, one of your boys in the pits anyway. Isabel saying Max should pit now, but then what's he going to do? What's the strat? Oh, Hamilton almost made contact with Gasly. Hamilton almost lost his front wing. He was ahead of Gasly at one point, and then Gasly sort of came back across and almost hit Hamilton's front wing. Hamilton needed to adjust. See, Logan Sargent comes out just ahead of Zhou Guan Yu. So they were in a battle for not very good races there. Shall I saying wind is increasing a track? Can Yolanda let us know if that's the case? We get double confirmation on that. Hamilton boxes. Right, you called it in the chat. So Hamilton boxes. And what's he going to go on to? Is he going to go on to the mediums or the hards? Zoe's working on the strategy. Zoe, we think you should box Verstappen now if that's in your ability. How did Norris pass Verstappen down the home straight? DRS assisted. Hamilton comes out. Oh, he's going to come out just behind Tsunoda, who boxed at the beginning, didn't he? Hamilton's been undercut. Verstappen complaining again. Hamilton's been undercut by Tsunoda undercut. Was it a slow stop? Something looked like it was on fire in the Mercedes garage. What stop was it? Hasn't popped up. That's not very helpful. Cheers, everyone. No idea how long the stop was. 2.7 seconds. So it wasn't the slowest of stops. Anyone else going to box from top group? What about Sergio Perez? What do you do for Sergio Perez right now? Michael 92617. Leclerc boxes. Whoa. Leclerc's had enough of trying to get past Oscar Piastri and decides to box. Hamilton onto hard. Isabel saying, I don't think it was a good move. Is Leclerc going to go onto hards as well? And will Leclerc come out ahead of Alonso? Will he come out ahead of Alonso? Maybe. We need to see how it shakes out. Oh, I don't know. Don't think so. Ricardo not on a 4-stop strategy front. Mike Agata subscribe. Tuning in by so many people from the Philippines. Welcome to the Philippines crew. Such a passionate. There's a PH there. Such a passionate sort of F1 community over in the Philippines. So, Hamilton has just got past Yuki Tsunoda. And Charles Leclerc is going to hope that Fernando Alonso doesn't stay out too long, I think. And Lewis, yeah, Leclerc undercutting Oscar. So let's have a look here. Is Oscar Piastri going to box? Is Oscar Piastri going to box here? Let's see. Yes. No, he doesn't. It's George Russell. It's George Russell who boxes. It's like the Masked Singer, this. Kiwis watching here as well. Love to hear it. Such a strong racing driver sort of a conveyor belt seems to come out of New Zealand as well. So George Russell surely is going to come out ahead of Leclerc unless there's been an absolutely brutal. Leclerc's already ahead of Alonso. Had no way has Leclerc got ahead of Russell there. That is a madness. That is a madness. How has Leclerc done a lap of the gods there to get ahead of George Russell? It was a 3.4 second stop. That's partly why. It was a slow stop from George Russell. And, oh, he's a 1.5 seconds behind. It would have been close. It would have been close in any event. It would have been close. But George Russell's really lost out there. He's got Alonso ahead of him. And he's got Charles Leclerc. Norris coming up on traffic yet. Show Guan Yu's there. Look at the gap between Lando and Verstappen. We're used to seeing Verstappen pull out these gaps. But this time it's Lando. Jay's calling it. Verstappen has a slow stop. Here we go. Here's a ticker tape. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream and you're already subscribed, just please for me, make sure that you've hit that like button. If you haven't hit the like button there, just pop down, tap that like button. I think you get a nice like an animation as well. And you'll feel good. And you'll see the like numbers going up. So if you watch the stream enjoying it, please make sure you smash it. Mercedes Garage has been eating too much donuts. Sponsored by a donut company. Sponsored by Krispy Kreme. So where are we now? It's getting a little bit confusing. So if Norris was to box, he'd probably come out just behind Carlos Sainz. I'm looking on board here with Charles Leclerc. The move on Fernando Alonso was so easy. He could have waved by. Fernando Alonso did not make it difficult. Ex-Ferrari driver, of course. Ex a lot of teams. Fernando Alonso, ex-Ferrari, ex-McLaren, ex-Alpine. Who hasn't he driven for? Ex sort of RB Cash App as well, I guess. Verstappen boxes! Here we go, chat. Verstappen boxes. Here we go. Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate it. So Piastri boxed. And, actually, I'm not sure Piastri boxed. I don't think he did. Verstappen boxes. So Verstappen boxes and comes out, surely ahead of Charles Leclerc and that crew. Val says, go, 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 Charles. So Verstappen boxes early and surely going to try and get to the end. But there's still 45 laps to go. So it is surely two-stopper then. What's he going on to? It's a set of hards for Verstappen. I'm not sure who's got that information saying the hard tyres can only go 33 laps. That seems very low to me. Welcome, Lee and Connor. Good to see you. Looking good in the 12-month badge. Hope everything's well with you. Joining at a very interesting time here because the race is Lando's to lose. Piastri undercut. I don't. Piastri's sort of in a bit of a race of his own here. I think he might have been. Piastri's already been undercut probably by Leclerc and even Russell now. Russell's got past Alonso. The Alonso pace is really not very good, to say the least. Jesus Christ. Look at Alonso's last lap versus Russell's last lap. As Lando pits now, race leader pits, so Oscar Piastri, we could have some great drama here. If there's a safety car on this lap, it's going to be incredible. I never wish for there to be a safety car, but if there were to be a safety car on this lap, Lando Norris would be you could hear the anger from here over the radio. So Lando Norris boxes, he's going to be fourth on track, but position-wise, he's really first. Comes into the pits. It's a it's an average stop. It's a 3.1, average to slow, I would say. Doesn't mean too much in the scheme of things at this stage in terms of losing a position. And Oscar Piastri is a new race leader. Welcome Zeram off as well. Chris fell standing by my prediction. Yeah, it was crazy aids passed it through. To me, it seems low, but anyway. Isabel Plug saying maximize everything. So, Piastri in the lead. Are we going to see Piastri box this lap? Ryan says Vamos Carlos Sainz. And if the funny thing is, if Piastri pits, that'll promote temporarily at least Sergio Perez to the lead of the Grand Prix. So let's keep an eye on Oscar Piastri. What's Piastri going to do? Keeps going. Isabel, Leclerc is third right now. Ferrari strategy is actually working. That goated Ferrari strategy indeed. Chat, we've got 1,000 people watching, 230 people on the likes. Please, if you're watching, if you understand this, please for me, hit that like button. I personally really appreciate it. If half the people hit the like button right now, we go up to like 500 likes. So just, if you can hear it, just hit that like button, please. And it'll go up, and it really helps us out as we do these watch-alongs. Sergio Perez boxes now to forfeit his second place. I think he would have been second or third. Daniel Ricciardo boxes as well. Seemed like a very slow stop for Sergio Perez. A sequence of a 4.4 second stop for Perez. A sequence of very slow stops. Thanks, Garrett. Plan an MCL, whatever that is. Don't know what MCL is. Phil, looks like the reports of Checo being watched have been grossly exaggerated. He says, as Checo comes out in P9. Let us know if you want to revise that opinion. Thanks, Isabel. Yeah, a slow stop, but also just a reflection of sort of Checo's relative pace. So, right now, as looks like everyone's time, it's not a VSC, it's just the timing catching up. Carlos Sainz has been comes into the pits here. So, Lando Norris is in P2, and they're keeping Piastri out for quite a long time. George Russell was battling with a Alpine. That would have been Pierre Gasly. I'm sure Russell would have been frustrated because he would think he's in a different race. But quite a simple move by the end for George Russell to get through. Amy, not YouTube telling you to delete your checker. What did YouTube say? Lance Stroll comes in as well. So Carlos Sainz comes out ahead. I think just of Sergio Perez. Quite important. The pit stop's just half awake. Was it a quick stop for Carlos Sainz? It looked better. It was a 2.6. Again, not buttery smooth, but decent. Esteban Ocon completely forgot he's still in this race. All the way down in P17th. I think he's going to come out. Oh my goodness, in P19 here. So Ocon having a terrible race. And Sergio Perez, just to confirm, actually did come out ahead of... Carlos Sainz came out behind Sergio Perez. So Perez does have that position. Surely we'll see Oscar Piastri box very, very, very soon. Otherwise, he's going to make this awkward for Lando Norris. You can see the lap times here. Piastri is giving up 2 seconds a lap at this stage on the basis he thinks he will get it back later, I presume. YouTube nudging Amy to delete your comments. Don't delete it, Amy. Stand strong. Freedom of speech and all that. If you want him to be P2, you say it. Lewis says McLaren had bottled Oscar's race. Very similar to what happened in Silverstone, perhaps. As Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso were going head-to-head. And Alonso finally boxes. So with Alonso boxing, it's the only drivers to stay out so far are K-Mag and Gasly. And I want to put a note to K-Mag here. Because remember, K-Mag started from the pits. And I think if he were to box now, he might come out ahead of Esteban Ocon. We'll see. So Piastri's going to go around again. We'll have a mix. I think, is Piastri trying to do a one-stop now then? Because if Norris is on a two-stop, well, at this rate, Lando's going to catch Oscar within about 3 laps. Yeah, that's going to happen. So, interesting strategy from Piastri. Yeah, sorry, Piastri hasn't boxed back, completely correct. So, yeah, considering how bad Sergio's state is right now, the 4.4 seconds top was diabolical. They've absolutely shattered his dreams with that slow stop. And honestly, it looked like all the tyres were on. There was just a guy with his hand on the car. Who's my favourite F1 driver? I don't really have a favourite, I'm afraid. Sergio Perez went up the inside of Fernando Alonso. Alonso just sort of evaporated as Gasly does pit. So another one of the no-stop crew. Brock says, welcome Rebel Union. Can Piastri try and go on softs? Tsunoda boxes again. Hang on a second. Tsunoda's boxing again. So surely that's a hard tyre to the end. Surely that's the two-stop strategy in action. So Tsunoda, who was one of the first to box, is boxing again now. I reckon. Does that mean Oscar's managed to get himself onto a one-stop? Because if Oscar started on mediums, which he did... hang on. Have McLaren played 8D chess here? Piastri boxes. I think there might be some 9-dimensional chess going on from McLaren. Piastri in the box. If Piastri goes onto hards now, he's saved a pit stop. Chat, what do we think? Welcome, Jester King. Isabel says Gasly in P6 go tip. Unfortunately, he's down in P12. Gasly for world peace. If Piastri don't box now, Norris are going to get screwed. So Piastri comes out. But well, I'm having a look. Piastri came in off the mediums onto a fresh set of hards. Ooh, a 2.4 second stop. Chat, do we think that Piastri's going to go all the way to the end? And honestly, Piastri is in a really nice pocket here where he can just be like, right, I've got to do 39 laps on these hards and just manage them, stay in the zone. I think that suits Oscar Piastri's driving down to a T as well. What happened with Gasly? Gasly came in. Jack went up. Tyres went on. Oh, the fingers of the Jackman. No. Oh, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Oh. Ooh. So basically, Gasly comes in the Alpine. They take the tyres off. They put the tyres on. And again, there's a bloke with his hand on the tyre. And Gasly goes. Remember, these cars are rear-wheel drive. They're spinning from the rear. But they go, the tyre moves in the front. And it catches the mechanic's hand between the tyre and the bit of aero that comes up. So... yeah. He's got gloves on, though. Not a nice one. Scrifty says no more hammer time. Why is there no more hammer time? Hammer time in P8? How's the hammer time strategy? Well, Lewis Hamilton's on the 2-stop here. I just wonder. Keep an eye on Kevin Magnussen. Is Maxon going to do the inverse Piastri? Unsafe release noted for Gasly. And honestly, I think the unsafe release is literally just trying to amputate his mechanic. So it's interesting that they've noted the unsafe release when there was no other competitor was harmed, I think, but their own team. Yeah, the hands is attached. Honestly, it's probably less worse than I'm making it sound. It's probably less worse than I'm making it sound. Maybe someone else can describe it. Right, where are we now? So Kevin Magnussen started on the hard tyre and is probably going to try and go. Well, this is the thing. How far is Kevin Magnussen going? Kevin Magnussen's going 36, 37 laps on the hards. And look at that pace. 116.9 for a Haas compared to his teammate 116.3 who will be on much fresher tyres. So I wonder if Piastri's going to do that. Oh, it'd be so spicy if Piastri wins this race. Phil Law still at unsafe release. Isabel, they might have fine Alpine for that. Maybe, I don't know. Welcome, Sold Out. Good to see you. Unsafe for the mechanic, yeah. All pit crew must be clear before the car's released. Okay, there we go. Looks like the mechanic wanted to do a front wing adjustment, but Gasly was given the front light. Something went very badly wrong in the procedure there. And it's one of these things where trying to do a pit stop in 2.1 seconds, it doesn't leave any room for error. And I always get a bit uncomfortable when I go to F1 races and I see them practice. In practice, they come in and the mechanics are there with no... They're like wearing shirts like this. No fire gear and no protective gear and everything. And it always makes me a bit concerned because the cars are still steaming in at like 60 miles an hour and whatnot. Jester, what time is lost for pit? I don't know, probably about 22 seconds. No further investigation for Gasly, by the way, under that unsafe release. Liam says, I don't think the deg is high at all. I think we're done with pit stops for the race. If Liam's right, do you think Norris is going to pit again? Or do you think actually the deg is so much lower that one stops happened much earlier? Piastri's got a fastest lap. Yeah, so it looks like the McLarens are spotting it because Leander said it first with Lando. Very interesting here. And I think we've just passed halfway, everyone. Just passed halfway in the race. And it's a very tasty one here. So if you want to know what's going on, Lando Norris is ahead of Verstappen by 9.3 seconds. And you can see Verstappen 3/10 slower last lap. But... that damn Piastri pace. What is Piastri cooking here? Oh my goodness. And will we get a team order like Bottas? Remember Bottas here a few years ago? Stroll speeding in the pit lane noted. Remember Bottas here a few years ago when it was like Valtteri James stop driving so fast, please? Do you remember that from Mercedes? 300 likes, by the way, everyone. Thanks so much for 300 likes. We're aiming for 500 on the screen. Yeah, 9-second gap, everyone. Faux show. And what's the gap between Verstappen and Piastri, say? Right, this is going to be critical as Piastri meets George Russell. This is where it's make or break for Piastri. Thanks, Sold Out. Yeah, it does really help me out. It's completely free. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe as well. I'm sure we get to 95,700 on the screen. Would be amazing. Amy, I'm so glad that the mechanics have safety gear now. I watched some races back in the day. Yeah, but the pit lanes back in the day, it's a bit like a WRC stage, wasn't it? So, if Piastri wants his strategy to work, I think he needs to stay within a pit stop of Norris and get past George Russell. Remember, if Norris pits again, he's going to have faster tyres at the end of the race. In fact, Norris could go on to the softs at the end. Liam's hoping Albon gets in the points. Alex Albon in P11, having started last, is pretty damn insane, don't you think? Fair play to the Albmeister. Where is he on track? Where is Alex Albon on track? I can't see, actually. Oh, he's tussling with Kevin Magnussen, so he's going to get past Magnussen as well. Isabel Oscar's cooking. I feel really validated if he wins. Yeah, there's some footage of like Alan Prost coming into the pit lane somewhere. So just seeing what happened with Lance Stroll. Obviously, he was speeding in the pit lane. Did he have a big lockup? Yeah, he just absolutely balls that up, Lance. I mean, amateur mistake, pal. Why did Albon start last? Disqualified. Disqualified from qualifying. Something to do with the floor, I think. Probably the floor being too low. Scrifty saying Hassa cooking. Well, what happened if Kevin Magnussen boxes now? Unfortunately for Kevin Magnussen, I think he's going to go last. But if Kevin Magnussen and everyone below him also needs to box again, then it'd be interesting. Now, we know Tsunoda won't need to box. Lee, didn't Hamilton do 23 laps on softs? Yeah, so presumably... Oh, battle between them. Oh, I think Piastri's got past Russell. Yes, Piastri's got past Russell. No drama at all. This is great for the Piastri fans. Chat, let me know in the chat if you're Oscar Piastri fan for this one. Because the Piastri effect is in full swing here. Oscar Piastri in P4 could be in prime position, and it would be so funny if Piastri wins this. Outside of turn 1 from Piastri on Das banking. Meanwhile, there's a madness. There's a madness in the Gasly train. There's 5 cars battling. It's like F1 Academy here. All the cars together. Pierre Gasly's in the lead of it. Alex Albon's involved. No, it's Logan. No, it's Alex Albon's involved. You got the 2 Aston Martins and a Haas. So there's a great battle going on there. The Pierre Gasly train. Russell cooks his tyres again, I don't know. Isabel loves Oscar, he's my new Kimmy. Amy, the photographer, you got to share some photos in the Discord, Amy. Especially you've got some of the cars, it'd be cool to see. We can share them on the socials. Yes, I guess better disqualification quality than DQ from first place after the race. Yeah, well, George Russell will know about that. Liam says Albon is the absolute best driver. Liam, what do you make of the Williams lineup next season? Are Williams secretly cooking here? Carlos Sainz with the fastest lap as K-Mag pits now. K-Mag pits from the hard tyre and he's done 41 laps. So now, presumably, he's going to try and go on the mediums till the end. Unless he's a mad lad and goes on the softs. So K-Mag is going to be lapped, though. So K-Mag, I think, drops behind Kevin Magnussen. Oh, sorry, he dropped on the sub. K-Mag drops below Tsunoda, but he's going to eat up anyone from Alonso downwards who pits. Mika Gasly looking to be Yana Trulli this race. Yeah, great footage. Is it still going on, that battle? Ricky McQueen, thank you so much for the Canadian 5. Thank you so much, Ricky McQueen. Chat, please, can we like that? And send our claps to Ricky McQueen. Tuning in, way to get Albon. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the super chat. The $5 Canadian. I massively appreciate it. Go straight into the channel. Pays for all of the equipment. So thank you so much, Ricky. Thank you. Good to have you back as well. You've joined at a great stage because there's a really cool battle going on. In fact, Gasly's escaped from that. And now it's Alonso, Albon on Stroll. Remember, K-Mag was involved, but he's boxed as well. So actually that's been broken up a little bit. Let's keep an eye on the Piastri. But look at the chat coming in now. Best community. Best community. Liam Williams Dream Team. All they need is Adrian Newey. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if Newey returns to Williams? I'm not sure if there's bad blood there, though, after the Senna thing, though. Senna thing. Tragic death of Ayrton Senna. Mysore is saying, go Lando. Time Wolf, we need McLaren to get a 1-2. Leclerc currently in P3, but Piastri looks like he's going to overtake him on pace. And what if Leclerc needs to pit again? I think Piastri's in the... Piastri is close. Piastri went 7 tenths faster than Lando last lap. So Lando's now in the deck stage. So if you're Lando now, and this is really interesting... If you're Lando, if you were not worried about Piastri, you would box now, I think. Sorry, if you're Lando Norris and you're not worried about Piastri, You either stay out and think, I'm just going to manage that gap to Max. Max in the same boat, and I'll cover Max. If Max boxes, I'll box. If he doesn't, I'll stay out. Or you decide to box now and think I'll overtake Max on track, or I'll overtake him on dead tyres or whatnot. But because of the Piastri situation, he's got Piastri kind of like messing up his strat. Oswald is Ricky related to Lightning McQueen? That's a question for Ricky. Cobweb, Oscar lapping almost a second faster than Charles. It might be genius strategy. Michael saying Piastri cooking on Leclerc. And Ricky saying he's a McQueen. McQueen. Kimberly on 6 have dropped. What do you mean 6 have dropped? I know that they've just been lapped, my friend. Chat, what do we think? Do we think Piastri's cooking here? That must have been a mistake from Lando when he did that 15.2 as well. Because he's just on the 14.7. So is Lando making mistakes? Chat, what do we think? Zoe's so hot, I'm sweating. Chat, let's do a nation check as well. 1,000 people watching. It's been a while since we had 1,000, the 1K. I want to do a nations check. Just put in the chat where in the world you're watching from. I want to see where in the world you're watching from. Is it going to be a Netherlands victory? Gestures watching from traffic. Okay, I think saying it was traffic for Lando. India coming in first. India from Akash. Jester Finland. Isabel Germany. JT Australia. Time Wolf USA. Chris USA. Stefania Castelletto Italy. Professor USA. Philippines. India USA. Malaysia UK. Malaysia UK. Philippines. Mississippi. Philippines again. Oh my goodness. I think Philippines might have this. Netherlands. Philippines. New Zealand, UK, Canada, UK, Australia, Philippines. I think Philippines has got this for the first time ever. Sweden, Canada, UK, USA, France, Australia, Barbados, India, Indonesia, New Zealand, Kasia Afagogo from New Zealand, Thailand, Netherlands, South Africa. No worries, Phil. Great to have you on board. Monaco, USA, Sweden, India, Montreal, Netherlands, South Africa, USA, Philippines. But it's double count. I know. Zimbabwe, London, Sweden, Netherlands. Chat, I think we give that one to the Philippines. I think the first time ever the Philippines sensationally are going to win this one. Belgium, USA, more Philippines coming in, double Philippines, Kenya. Are we on national TV in the Philippines or something? More Philippines and Kent. They call Kent the Philippines of Europe. More Philippines, Ghana, Uganda, Indonesia. Chat, something's going on with Philippines today. Valencia. Kireth says the Philippines go rah. Okay. Speaking of going rah, Oscar Piastri now needs to execute the second part of this strategy. I think if Oscar Piastri gets past Charles Leclerc here, Norris rated, gap to Verstappen 10 seconds, safety car, I think we would take it for a medium. And then you would come out and pass him happy. So there we go. Norris already being told, if there's a safety car, we're going to get on the faster tyre and overtake Verstappen or keep track position. But they're not telling him about Piastri. They're not telling Lando about Piastri. Oh dear. Oh no. Master of the World, Kireth, thanks so much. Hugh Monaghan reporting in from New York. Is it New York, New York? Lucy from the UK. Grandad from exotic Derbyshire. Oh, that's what's called a juxtaposition. Liam, Kireth is big in the Philippines. I'd very happily go over to the Philippines and stream. Paul from the Seychelles. That's a nice place to watch from. JT, who says, what's the deal with Piastri? Oscar Piastri, we think, is doing 5D chess here. He's got to keep that gap under about 20 seconds. I don't know if anyone knows the exact pit loss, by the way. Natasha from the Netherlands. Saba, USA Boston, but from Germany. Ekaterine from Georgia. Tupeski, we have a long weekend in the Philippines. Marie watching from Germany. Bembo from my kitchen. Jay Watt, it's night here at the Philippines and tomorrow a holiday, so we can see it really late. I love it. I want to go to the Philippines. If I go to the Philippines, where shall I go? Is it Manila, presumably? What can I do in the Philippines? Is there a cool like car culture, racing culture? Can I go karting in the Philippines? Chantel watching from Kimberley. I don't know where Kimberley is. Chris is saying Piastri's lap consistently fast. Susie, can we get to 500 likes? Hopefully, chat. It's down to you. It's great to be back streaming Formula 1. Okay, so Piastri 19.5. I feel like he might be Well, I mean, Leclerc. The thing is, though, Leclerc's on a rocket as well. Leclerc was faster than Lando last lap, and Piastri was faster than both of them. So hang on, Leclerc might be helping Piastri here overtake Lando potentially. Oh my goodness. And Lando's going to smash into that traffic, which is really interesting. Has Piastri gone for it on Charles Leclerc? Surely not. No. This is really interesting because Lando's going to hit traffic now, whereas Piastri might never hit that traffic. Piastri might never hit that traffic just because of the ebb and flow of the race. So I feel like the tarot cards are stacking in Oscar Piastri's favour here. Alfie watching from Morocco. Visit BGC, a lot of supercars. Nice. Kimberly, are you? Hang on. Are you Chantel or Kimberly, or is Kimberly in South Africa? We need to know. Hugh in New York City. You are the most devious person in New York City. Sainz overtakes Perez as well. Yes, very good spot. Now, Lando has just overtaken Alex Albon. Let's keep an eye on the lap time, 14.7. He will get some DRS though. It's not bunched up as it was before. If it was bunched up like it was before, that would have been a disaster. Garrett watching from California. Whereabouts in California? It's been a while since I've been in California. I do want to go over. Kimberly's in South Africa next to Joburg. Hey, now I know. I didn't actually know that. I feel very stupid. Time Wolf watching from Miami. Welcome Franco, Mignon, Dimitri, Kokyu as well. Franco's watching from New York, but from the Philippines. I feel so boring that I'm from London and I'm in London. But we have done what Hamilton boxes again. So Hamilton, remember, he started on the softs. Is presumably going softs, hards, softs. What's Hamilton going to go on to here? This will be interesting. 24 laps of Lewis Hamilton. And look where he is on circuit. P8. And if everyone ahead of him needs to box... Ooh, interesting strat from Hamilton here. Ayers watching from North Korea. What's my age? 27. Hamilton comes in. Oh, yes, he does go on to softs. Hamilton does, and it's a pretty tidy stop compared to what we've seen. Oh, 2.6, a little tidy. I never know how accurate those, how they mark it. So Hamilton comes out in fresh air. Ooh. Ooh. And you know what? He's less than 20 seconds behind Perez. So if Perez needs to box again, Hamilton's going to undercut him. Hamilton could be on a mad strat here, out of nowhere. Half the grid is lapped, yeah. So he's watching from Sicily. Oh, great to have a race again in Korea. I would love to go to South Korea. Feel your commentary put Sky to shame. Sky in absolute shambles. Okay, so where is Piastri? Oh, what's the timing? Oh, no for Piastri. 15.4 ain't going to cut it. 15.4 ain't going to cut it. Charles, love watching F1 here in the Philippines, especially if you don't need to go early for school because of holiday. Chat, I feel like it should be a bank holiday every weekend, just good vibes. So what do you do if Piastri now, you got no other option? Oh, tyres came in for Red Bull and then and then they came out again. There were softs in the pits for Red Bull. Who was that going to be for? Perez or Verstappen? Piastri, for his sake, it's a very slow cash app. I know it's just letting cars past. Piastri needs to get past Leclerc here, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. Aquado from Texas. Hugh, New York, great stream, bud. Welcome, Hugh. Great to have you on board again. Piastri looks like he gets close. Sharkins, I'm born and bred in Bournemouth, Australia. What are you doing in Australia? You're relocating from Bournemouth. You want more of the beach. Hamilton still needs a few more laps. Hulkenberg 35 lap hards are crazy. Me 212 says Hamilton. Keep an eye on hammer time. Phil, come on, Sir Hamilton. Mia, Hamilton. If there's a moment for Hamilton, Hamilton's on the softs now. Does a PB sector in sector 2. 26.3 is a second. Oh my goodness, Hamilton! Chat, get your hammers out. It is hammer time. 113.8 for Sir Lewis Hamilton. Bro is on hammer time here. It's hammering. It's hammering o'clock. Space, hello from Nottingham. Stay safe. Bro, never mind where subscribers on. We're about ages. We'll do an age check next time. There we go in the chat. It's coming through. So you can keep an eye on Hamilton doing hammer time. And Hulkenberg does a PB. But he's on really old tyres. So does that mean that this is an in-lap or something? I don't know. Why is Hulkenberg on a madness? Hulkenberg's lapping as fast as the leaders in Sector 1. So I don't know what's being cooked up there, frankly. But I think the Piastri train is going to struggle here because I think Lando is going to come out ahead of Oscar Piastri. Hamilton about to throw one straight at Toto. Joe saying that's a monstrous lap from Hamilton. 13.8 is obscene. Follows it up with a 14 dead. That's still a very quick lap on the softs. The question is, what's possible? 21 laps to go. And also, if people do we think Sainz and Perez need to pit again? Because if they do, then Hamilton could do a bit of a madness here. Where am I? I'm in London. Lando pitted again. No, Lando hasn't pitted yet. By the way, a 14-second gap from Lando to Verstappen. So is Verstappen going to box? And what happens if Verstappen boxes? It's really not looking good for Verstappen now. I think Red Bull, the wheels are really falling off. Sizex, welcome Sizex. Hello F1 fans, joining guidance and protection. Manners and respect, peace, love to your all balanced big up. I think a message we can all get behind. Welcome back Sizex, good to see you. Repping that 6-month members badge. Isabel saying Sainz can probably stretch the tyres. And Bob won't believe Norris is going to win. Yeah, Norris gets a free pit stop to Verstappen. But he doesn't to Piastri. Right? What's going to happen here with 20 laps to go? I think the Piastri... Well, hang on. Whoa. Charles Leclerc just did a PB. So either Charles Leclerc's coming in now, he's burning the tyres, which will release Piastri. And if Piastri's being smart here, maybe he's not really trying to overtake. He's just sort of staying in the slip down the straight. He's managing his tyres, thinking, hang on, Leclerc's going to pit. And then we go, and then we kind of go and try and get that lap time so we come out ahead of Norris when Norris pits. So keep an eye on Charles Leclerc. Is Leclerc going to go to the end? If Leclerc, or he's stretching the pace anyway. So at this moment in time, Norris is faster than Piastri, which is interesting because Piastri's tyres are newer than Lando Norris's. Welcome, Michael. Mika, I think McLaren will get a lot of points with Red Bull if Perez stays where he is. Kimber says it's McLaren o'clock. Or Hammer o'clock. Franco, I've been a Ferrari fan since 1996, and every time a driver joins the team, I always grow to adore them, even if I didn't like them before. Is that going to be Lewis Hamilton then for you? What happened to Zhou Guan Yu? I think he's just lapping very slowly. 1 minute 20 there, last lap. He's on the soft tyres, though. The car happened. Mark, will Ferrari do something idiotic to Leclerc? We'll see. But I don't see how Leclerc's going to hang on to that over Piastri, but... And Lewis Hamilton's got the point for fast lap at the moment. Are we going to see people box? Because now would be a sort of opportune time to box and get on the softs and get full value out of the softs. But if you're Lando, you're 22.6 seconds ahead of Piastri. You've got to the point now where, unless they're going to fall off a cliff, George Russell boxes. Ooh. Ugh. Is he going to come out ahead of Hamilton and stay on softs? George Russell boxes. Hamilton going slow again. No, he's not. 14.2 is not slow. See who does his lap. Hamilton this lap does a 40.3. No, I don't think so. So Russell boxes. I think he was about to hit some traffic. So Russell comes out ahead of Hamilton, presumably also on the softs. So in which case we'll have two rampaging... Yes, soft tyre. 2.8 second stop again. Something not going super slick with the softs. With the stop, sorry. So is Sergio Perez at risk now from George Russell? I can't remember if Russell gave up grid position for that. Presumably he did. So Max struggling at the moment with the car. Ricky, did Sargent start off last and gain positions? Pretty much, yeah. Sargent definitely started behind Yuki Tsunoda. Right. Phil says, looks like Max is switching to a one-stop and just saving tyres. So what's the Leclerc and Piastri pace compared to Verstappen? Well, at the moment, Verstappen is a second quicker than Leclerc, and Piastri is chopping and changing so much here. I just think this all suits Lando Norris now, as the time has ticked down, as Alex Albon came into the pits again for mediums, I think. Bit of a weird stop there from Albon. We thought he might go to the end. 2.4 second stop from Williams. Alex Albon's come in and gone down to P18. I don't understand that stop from Albon unless he thinks a lot of other people are going to box. Because he's on the same medium. That actually might be quite an interesting stop there. He's on the same medium and hard strategy as pretty much everyone else. Welcome, Jap. Good to see you. Oh, you won one of the backpacks. You're welcome. Chat, by the way, top secret, I'm going to be running a giveaway after this stream to win, not one of these, win a Astro A50 headset as part of Logitech McLaren G Challenge. So keep an eye on that for the channel. It'll go be in a pinned comment to one of the videos. So again, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching now not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And someone's going to win an A50 headset. Japs just won a backpack. Yolanda's won a backpack as well. Just giving it back. I love giving it back to the community. I've given one of these rigs away. I've given the Pro all the equipment that I use. I basically end up giving away. So that's quite cool. Arsenal Scrubs don't know. Piastri, how is the tyre now? Not amazing, but I'll make it to the end. That's the kind of communication that I like. Leclerc 15 dead. Yeah, for 24 seconds. I think what I wanted to say, my train of thought was that if Norris wins this race by at least 15 seconds, because imagine if Verstappen needs to pit, is this a huge victory for Lando? Because we kind of been saying, oh, not Piastri maybe 5T chess, but isn't it just a huge victory for Lando? You should get hats. That's a good point, actually. What happened to Alfonso? Nothing really, just kind of a bit of an average race with Aston. Isabel, just love Lucy. I love watching Bottas being silly and funny. He's just blossomed since leaving Mercedes. I don't know the pit loss time actually. I'm assuming it's about 20 seconds, but I don't actually know. And Sizek saying Hamilton for the win. George Russell now with the fastest lap. But you see Hamilton sort of burnt through that initial bit of rubber there, it seems. So the question is, with 15 laps to go, can Russell catch Sergio Perez? Well, about 2 seconds a lap at this rate. Not quite, and it'll come down, but let's argument say best case 2. It's 15 seconds, so within 7 laps he could potentially do it. So 10 laps at a slow pace, so yeah, so Russell may be putting Perez under pressure here. Time Wolf, I just joined Discord, I didn't know you had one. We got 4,000 people in Discord. If you don't know we have a Discord, ! Discord link, 4,000 people up there, really active F1 chat in particular, and a lot of sim racing. Chantel, that's so awesome. Good to know there are still people out there just give back to community, not community to the world. Because so many people just want to make money and be an influencer. Well, everything that comes in this channel stays in the channel, which I really like. And that, for me, is quite fulfilling because it means I'm trying to push the boundaries and do more stuff rather than think, oh, can I take some money out? Well, where is Oscar Piastri right now? 23.6. He is within a second now. So maybe he's playing the long game. I don't know. And to be honest, his tyres are only 5 laps less worn than Lando Norris. So perhaps it's not as big of a difference as I was thinking. It's actually Leclerc where he has the big advantage. Welcome, Barry Buckham. Thanks for keeping it updated here in Richards Bay, South Africa. Great to have you on board. South African community. Do I cover Mario Kart on my channel? No, I only cover proper sims. Like Sonic Kart or whatever. Russell with the fastest sector 1. He's done for a while. He's done all race, actually. PB sector 1. Norris stays out. I feel like Lando's just absolutely cruising now. How have we inverted? Chat, don't you think it's pretty incredible here that we've inverted the McLaren being about 20 seconds behind at the beginning of the season to now probably about 20 seconds ahead? Isn't that crazy? That needs to be studied. Chris Vell says Logan in P16. Michael, the gap just keeps growing between Norris and Verstappen like crazy. Yes, indeed. And still 13 laps to go. Still 13 laps to go here. I'm not sure. Did anyone know if George Russell was behind or ahead of Sergio Perez when he boxed? Because he's quite an audacious task to do what they're trying to do, because he was only a second a lap quicker last time. So it's going to be pretty close. Welcome, Golden. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's good to be back streaming F1 on the channel. So good. It's always just such a nice feeling to be doing the watch-alongs. Yeah, I like the setup we've got as well. Roger Red Bull should bring back the RB19. Just imagine it's just quicker. Can lap cars be unlapped? They can try. Nothing stopping them. Just the circumstances that meant they were lapped will probably be the same circumstances that mean that they won't be able to unlap themselves. Can Alonso get points? Yes, he can. Look at Nico Hülkenberg doing his best lap of the race. Hülkenberg is just aging like a fine wine here. And in fact, I think he's been battling with Pierre Gasly. I don't know if he's just been overtaken by Gasly. K9 says, hey, Kirsty. Just correct it. Hey, Kireth. Gasly on Hulk. So that's going to push Hulk down, actually, that move. So, it looks like I called it wrong, actually. I thought maybe Piastri doing 5T chess, but I don't think it's worth anyone in the top 3 boxing now. So the question is, can Piastri get the podium off Leclerc? In which case, the finishing front 3 would be the same as how we qualified. Russell was in front of Sainz, so isn't that a bit of a crazy one to box? Sean, don't you think? Fastest lap for Mercedes for Hamilton, yes indeed. Amy says, let's go Oscar. What was Norris up to? His hard tyres have been there for 32 laps, and he's got a couple of flat spots, actually. In fact, on the front left, it looks like he's got quite a few flat spots. Maybe he's just driving through that. Imagine there'd be quite a lot of vibration. And I just wonder if Norris is kind of in a little bit of a hard spot right now where he can't quite get 11 laps, so he's pushing to get that gap for the pit stop, and he might be at risk here. He might have to end up in that gap behind Verstappen and then overtake him on much fresher tyres. Because you can imagine, let's say the pit loss is 20 seconds. Lando boxes now, he'll come out about 3-4 seconds behind Verstappen on tyres that are probably at least 2 seconds a lap quicker. So the question is, would you do that now or not? Or do you just go to the end because you've got a 16-second buffer? Do you think McLaren has done something illegal on their car to be... But I think it needs to be studied. That's all I'm going to say. I think no one's really appreciating that. Welcome Pirilau Ningwale as well. Good to have you on board. Sprint lane coming in here. Shilling your wares. Bold strategy. Anyone know the average pit time Ricky McQueen? Is it, honestly, I don't know, Ricky. I haven't seen it. I'm basing it on about 20 seconds. Feel good. Do you think McLaren has in part improved because of the partnership with Google? Absolutely not. I think it probably makes zero difference, but I might be wrong. Maybe it's the Dark Trace. Was it Dark Trace or Cloudflare? Whichever one. CrowdStrike. One of these companies, I don't know what they do. Maybe CrowdStrike was holding McLaren back. Why did Russell pit? I have no idea. That's an absolutely maddening stop. I don't think he could have been ahead of... surely he wasn't ahead of Sainz. Well, okay, the reason they boxed, if they think it's inevitable that Sainz and Perez need to box, and it's a good strategy. But it looks like people are going to try and go to the end. Hamilton might be faster than Russell. Well, Hamilton's just done the fastest lap on the softs. So Sir Lewis Hamilton has just put down the hammer again. Look at this. Hamilton does the fastest lap. He goes a second I can't get speed today. Second quicker than Russell. Roger, Kireth versus Verstappen iRacing. Yeah, I have raced Verstappen on iRacing. Did Russell think it was raining? He was just sweating. There's more grit, Russell. Powder is saying Hamilton getting closer to Russell. Yes, indeed. Jeremy says Hamilton can card it. Let's try and cook hard on the likes as well. 1,000 people watching. Let's hit that like front, everyone. We want to get to 500 likes. So if everyone can right now, if you can hear me, just hit that like button for free. Doesn't cost you anything. Won't ruin your day, but it will make my day if we can get to 500 likes. I'd really appreciate it. And doesn't anyone decide to put Lando goes fastest of the whole race for Lando. PB as the fuel gets lower, the cars get lighter. Do you think Piastri can overtake Leclerc in these last 10 laps? Well, Leclerc's tyres are about 9 laps older, so we'll see. Jacob says Alonso in the points. There we go. People were asking about it. Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Ricciardo, Magnussen. Who do you think won't be in the grid? Possibly all of them. Scrutiny says Norris needs to slow down. Size that smash the like button. Yes, so 416. We can do it. We can get to 500. Keep it going, chat. We'll get to 500. That'll be absolutely big for us. Okay, so if you're George Russell and Lewis Hamilton right now, you're pretty nervously looking at the big screens as you drive by because you're hoping that people are going to pit. But I think it's too late. I don't think anyone's going to pit now. I don't think Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Perez are going to pit. You've got much more to lose and you have to gain. So that means it's going to be Hamilton and Russell who've lost out here. And in the end, it's been the one stop that's been king. Because look at Yuki Tsunoda trying a 2-stop. That hasn't worked out. And it hasn't worked out for Max neither, going really long on the hards, because he would have possibly picked off people on 2 stops. But it hasn't worked out for Magnussen. So the only people to do 2 stops, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Tsunoda, Albon, Hamilton, Russell. I don't think it's worked out for any of them apart from Hamilton. Because Hamilton was able to make overtakes. What do we think, Chad? Do we agree or disagree with that? Russell, best Ferrari driver. Monster, I've been swapping between podcasts. This one's so much better. It's not down to me, it's down to the chat. What's Lando done here? Is it a lock-up deep? Okay, something was deemed worthy of a replay when nothing happened. Amazing. It's just... Oh my goodness, the tyres are looking really worse for wear. So there is a little bit of tension here. I do think, and I'm not making this up, I don't make any money here. I'm not incentivized really to like over-dramatize this, but I do think there's a little bit of tension in whether they're pushing the hard tyres really long and whether Norris is going to have some issue with his tyres, but it's unlikely. But 7 laps to go, you know, are they going to push it to the extent of a puncture or something like that? I don't know. But it feels to me like Mercedes kind of thought that people would not be able to go this long. We'll see. Rob, it was a decent call for Hamilton. Crazy pace, awful grid. So remember, Hamilton started P14 here, and that 2-stop has allowed him to get past cars that he's faster than, hasn't been tripped up by. As again, he goes faster in Sector 1, 24.8. Nathan says a Mercedes battle is coming. Yeah, we love to see it. Bring it on. Time 100k subs by October. Honestly, all it takes is if you hit the subscribe button, if you want to help us get to 100k, it'd be huge for me. So if you're watching and if you understand it, feel free to write in the what's the language of the Philippines? Feel free to write it in German, Spanish in the chat. Maybe people watching in other languages who don't know what I'm saying, and it's arguably the best way to watch these streams. Just get the pure data, no fluff. Isabel, Ferrari are doing really well because their car was shocking yesterday. Grandad loving watching Verstappen being humiliated by Lando on his home race. We'll see. Lando was a little bit of a different mentality yesterday. Seems to be paying off. And again, Piastri can't quite get past Leclerc here. 6 laps to go. And the Norris pace seems pretty strong. Hamilton is trying to get within a second of George Russell. Tagalog. I've never heard the word Tagalog before. The Philippines is a very highly populated country and I've never heard the word Tagalog. That's very bad of me. But also I think... I don't know. That's just bad of me. Okay, so Verstappen... I'll be amazed if anyone pits now. It's got really bad. But the lap times are still there. So I don't think it's going to. Morpheus, how much damage is Piastri doing at 1 second behind Leclerc? I don't know, because it's difficult to know whether Leclerc is actually just helping Piastri, is pulling Piastri along. Remember that Leclerc's tyres are 9 laps older than Piastri's. Oh, Tagalog is a dialect. Okay. Who's our driver of the day? Yeah, let's do a driver of the day. Don't do it as an official poll, but let us know. I wonder if it's going to go... If Hamilton overtakes Russell here, I think it needs to go to Hamilton. Arguably, the worse you do in... I think Verstappen's only won driver of the day once this year, and he's won 7 races. So arguably, the worse you do in qualifying, the less likely you are to win driver of the day. Lucy says Lando driver of the day. I mean, actually, sorry. Do we need to give it to Lando here, winning by 20 seconds? It's a very good point from K1. It's crazy how this is Lando's second win, but it feels so unsurprising. Are we just in the Lando era now? And what does this mean for the championship? We're in the age of Lando, perhaps. Sackon says easily. Actually, now I think about it. Yeah, okay, Hamilton's managed to get past Gasly and Hulkenberg. Nice job. But maybe it's Lando, not the best start, but he's come back. Yeah, Max will still lead World Drivers' Championship by a long way. Because he's currently leading by like 78 points, I think. And the points differential here is only going to be, what, 5 points, I think? So he's going to still be leading by 72 points. Max could finish 1-2 for the rest of the season. I think he'd still win. But who knows? I mean, we can do some maths on it. We'll try and do an F1 podcast to try and work this out. I'm going to sneeze. Let him okay. Going to be 3 laps to go, and I think Lando's really got this in the bag. So, has it been a poor... Why did they pit George Russell? Liam says Sergeant driver of the day, up in P16. Maybe not bad. Stash driver does something that hasn't been done in years, kind of earns driver of the day. Yeah. I think we shouldn't underestimate what Lando's doing here. I think Lando might be becoming that guy. If you remember in the live streams last year, I was very critical of Lando. I said, look, Oscar's doing better than Lando. This is when McLaren was sort of like, you know, trying to get on the podium at most. And I said, I think Lando needs to really focus on the F1. Am I going to sneeze or not? What's going to happen there? But it looks like Lando's just evolved. He's just evolved into a different Lando now. Is this championship era Lando? Rob Craig, top 5 nursing the tyres, not the drop-off Merc expected. Yeah, Carlos, hang on. How can we give it to Hamilton where Carlos Sainz has managed to get past both Mercedes and Sergio Perez? So surely Carlos Sainz had a better drive here than both the Mercedes. Escobar says something up with the McLaren. There's a couple of people saying that now. The McLaren's looking so good. Michael Lando looking the goods. Lucy being a wild supporter girl. Nathan, if Lando can brush out his mistakes like the starts, I reckon he's championship contender. The interesting thing with Lando is he doesn't feel like the complete package. Like, there's not one element of Verstappen's driving that we would point a finger at. He's very aggressive. The starts are good. The qualifying's good. Like, Verstappen is almost like Michael Schumacher, like complete package. I think Lando is more like sometimes he bottles it. The relationship with the engineer is like, I don't know, it's not super clear. And the starts aren't often great. So it's interesting to have a driver who's more fallible. That probably makes him more likable. Because it feels like he has more clear faults. And that might also mean that when he's doing well like this, he's really doing well, or the car is also insane. 20 seconds over Max. Honestly, I don't think we can talk about that point enough. I think it is such a big point. I think it's such a big point. Crash Tapping has no weakness. Honestly, he doesn't have a weakness in the same way. Name me any other driver on the grid, and name me a driver that has fewer perceived weaknesses than Verstappen. How did Lewis Hamilton drop a few seconds? He must have made a mistake. I don't know. So we're on the last lap here, everyone, and it's going to be a 21-second lead. I remember, was it Suzuka last year? That was a really good result for the McLarens, but Verstappen still won by 20 seconds. Well, Lando Norris now, you, sir, have the best car in the world, this McLaren. Isabel, he needs to rub me the wrong way. Liam, it's not something like the McLaren. If there was something, the Red Bull... And if I have found out, well, how do I'm not saying there's anything illegal going on here, like against the rules, but what have McLaren done here? Like, is it all aero? Is it engine? Is it what have they done? As Lando Norris is going to go over to win this Grand Prix and get the fastest lap on the last lap on age-old tyres. Hang on a second, and that point could be absolutely critical. We'll clip this as a short. If Lando wins the championship by 1 point, that's where he did it. When no one expected it at Zandvoort. Oh my goodness. Is someone else going to pip into fast lap on the line? I don't think so. It looks like a few are trying. Verstappen comes in second. Then Leclerc. I don't know why Gasly's showing up there. And then Piastri. So it's a win for Lando as fireworks go off. Chat, let us know who the driver of the day are. Professor So Sick, do we have any big Lando fans in it? Any Papaya fans? Nathan saying, W Lando, bros goated. How the hell did he get fastest lap? How did he beat Lewis Hamilton on fast mediums with a few laps to go? Oh my goodness, there's so much smoke on the track now from the fire. Alright, Aaron's on the pool now. If Matt, the Mass, I just said his second name. If Max comes second every race that's left, he's still world champion. There we go. Welcome, Martin Vargas. Great to have you on board. Yeah, the fireworks left off like a huge amount of smoke. You can't see anything. It's like Kimmy on the Kemmel Straight. By the way, if you enjoyed this stream and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the future content. Also, really help me out. I really appreciate it. Yolanda's happy for Lando. D. Jordan's a McLaren fan. Jay's happy for Lando. Mark's happy. Did anyone call it yesterday? Did anyone call a Lando victory? I think Vlatka called it. The first chat in this live stream was Vlatka saying Lando's making me very happy today. Jay said if Lando gets 8 points on Max every race, he'll tie with Max. Amy saying Oscar second win coming next race, I believe it. No worries at ACPW, good to see you. Chris, smash that like. Oh, we've got to get to 500 likes. So can we get to 500 likes by the stream? So, there we go. It's not Lando 1 wins. It's not even Lando 2 wins. Maybe it's Lando will wins now. Because I feel like we might be entering an age of Lando Norris. This, for me, this is a critical race. What we've seen here. And I remember, because we follow F1, we do every race. We live stream the watch along every race. We do the podcast. I remember doing a podcast at the beginning of the season where I legitimately asked the question to Sam, my co-host. I said, should we just give the championship to Verstappen now? And we were like, yeah, it's a fair question to ask. So now for Verstappen to be 23 seconds behind is unreal. Welcome, David Joe Clot. Zandvoort is a TED that it does not favour short corner drivers, so M. I'm struggling to interpret that one. No worries, Sharkin. Yeah, agreed, size X. Welcome, Tamir, as well. How they found 40 seconds. They found 40 seconds is insane. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Kimber. Liam says Lando deserves it. Granddad's on ACC. Enjoy it, whether you're on console or PC. Let's hope there's going to be no disqualifications here. I'm going to let you know, how's Lando going to react to this one? Is it now? I think there's no harm in really celebrating Lando. That's not a sign of weakness. He stands up calmly. He puts the wheel in. He stands on the front of the car. And he does it like that. Very kind of subdued, I would say. He does like a that. He strolls over. He lifts up the visor. He does a half a jog. And it's not a jump in, it's kind of a gentle thing. I think Lando has a psychological coach or someone, or McLaren provider. I think there's a lot of psychology going on with Lando right now. That's my suspicion. How to win, how to be successful, how to manage it. I think Lando's dad's there, Adam Norris, billionaire. That's what I suspect is going on. That Lando's getting some coaching, some less good coaching, and it's like, hey Lando, this is serious now. I imagine the same happens if you become really successful at work and you get promoted to like run a company. Suddenly you're like, okay, how are we going to manage you? That's what I think. I don't know if anyone agrees. Conspiracy theories will say that Lando knows something's up with the car, and that's why he's not celebrating too much. But I don't buy that. No worries, Amy. Great to have you. Thanks, Triadistic. 20 more. Yeah, we can do it. 477 likes. Escobar. I like Lando, but something isn't right with that car. You mean to tell me an OK driver with what was a fifth place team found all this speed around the 5th race season? Maybe I'll make a short on it. No worries, Michael. No worries, Vlatka. Hope you're enjoying it on the beach. Perfect place to watch and chill out after. Animalistic McLaren is not stable enough to win the championship. Zilda Lando winner, congratulations, my crush. There we go. Grandad imposter syndrome. I don't think Lando has imposter syndrome. Honestly, I don't think you don't make it in racing if you have imposter syndrome. I don't think. I think imposter syndrome. Again, Lando looks very subdued. I have to say, he looks very chill. I don't want to say subdued is too much, but he's not. He's nowhere near crying and jumping into the mechanics, and it's his second ever race victory. You know, think of the pain he had in Sochi. He's taking it like this is par of the course for him. This is just the new normal. That's why I think he's had some sort of coaching here. He's like, this is just normal for me now. This is the standard I expect. And what that means is when he recalibrates that, he's no longer going to accept second or third as a really good result, be happy-go-lucky. He's like, second or third's not good enough. This is my standard. That's what I think anyway. That's my hunch. I'd really love to know your thoughts on it. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, people continue to subscribe. Sometimes we get 1,000 subscribers on a race stream, so hopefully we pop off on that if we just keep doing it. Any confirmed news later on? No, it looks like Aston Martin's the obvious tie-up there. Gives them flexibility between that and the hypercar program and designing road cars as well. He'd already designed an Aston. Didn't he design the Valkyrie? But he designed the Valkyrie that's going into the WEC. Morpheus, Lando compares to his Silver Spooner. He should keep his eye on Piastri. No Silver Spoon, so Piastri right behind him. Professor, I think he's definitely looking like Max needs to phone Hamilton. The F1 comp need to be tested for call out. I don't know what that means. Probably got on a coach, or like someone said, Oscar's calmness is running off. I think the Oscar and Lando vibe then is like a real calm, emotionally more balanced vibe, I think. You remember Carlos Sainz winning in Singapore last year? Do you remember that Carlos Sainz one? Remember George Russell absolutely beaming when he wins? So I just think there's some active thought process going on here with Mac. But let me know if I'm overthinking it. Thanks, Rowan. Escobar says coaching. The reaction by him is probably because he's expected to win in this car. Feel good. Is that an advert for Google? David says Norris has never been emotional. I don't know. Jurassic Lando's just a good driver. Michael, Lando trying to harness his inner Piastri. Chris has always loved the content. No worries, Chris. I appreciate your support and the membership. Means a lot. Thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying it. I was in P3 as well, by the way. If you're the Tifosi, I haven't seen any Ferrari logos in the stream here or any real Tifosi. I might have missed it, but guys, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Welcome, Haminder Ravi. Chris William Macau Wamboga says, good job, Lando. Right, is it next stop Monza, chat? Is it next stop Monza? Professor like the Jarakan. There we go, they're the fry emojis. Chat, for Monza, I think we will have a sponsor for the stream, and a big sponsor. It will tie into the race itself, if that's all going to be finalised. There's no restrictions on me saying anything. I still say exactly what I want, but there will be a sponsor, I believe, which is going to be quite exciting. I hope you're going to... It might elevate the viewing experience or not. I don't know. It's obviously good for me to have a sponsor on the stream, so I'm looking forward to it. Zoe, I'm proud of my team, Red Bull Racing, and my boyfriend. We did awesome work again. There we go. Just I'll cheer for Ferrari by driving my family Ferrari around to my Fiat Doblo. Very nice. Why are Red Bull so slow? I don't know. Chris saying 11 more likes, marshalling the troops there. Amy, I believe Lando is finally believing in himself that he can win. It's a completely different level, but if you're watching the karting series on the Motorsport channel from when I won the championship last year, spoiler, wish I'd taken more behind the scenes at the time. That's my regret. But anyway, I'm trying to shapen up to enter again and try and win again. When you're in the hunt for the championship, you do need to set your bars. It's how do you push yourself? You know, how do you not accept what was acceptable before? How do you justify it? How do you rationalize it? All these kind of things. How do you set your new goals? How do you make it normal? David, Monza's tattooed on you. Very nice. Professor, I think Lando might not be comfortable with starting. He might think he didn't do the perfect race as well. He might think he lost it off the line. Tariq Bros, when that video coming with the next karting one? I'll put it online today. I just need to get a thumbnail for it. Feel like my Ferrari's still stuck in the farm and D Jordan's overwhelmed. Well, chat. There we go. It's been great to have everyone watching. I don't think we're going to quite hit 500 likes. If you're watching and haven't quite hit like button, please do. It'd be great to hit 500. We'll be back again for Monza, which is going to be exciting. And then there's some really exciting races coming up. Circuit of the Americas, Singapore, Las Vegas, Mexico. Mexico still to come up. So some really, really, really exciting races as we follow this season, and maybe try and plan maybe going to some races next year. Again, the opportunity to work with sponsors is great because maybe we can get to go to races and whatnot and interview drivers like we're doing with Formula E. I mean, the access Formula E give me is great. If you're a Formula E fan, you can see my asking the drivers in the interviews hopefully exactly what you want to see, grid wars, etc. So maybe we'll get something like that in Formula 1. We will see. 496, I think we're going to do it. Thanks so much, Chris. Benbow, Red Bull have hurt F1 like Lance Armstrong. Winners are assumed cheats. I don't know. Kimber, I'm with D. Sometimes I'm not overwhelmed. I just seem outwardly subdued. And there's a lot more content from McLaren coming on the channel, by the way. So if you want to see McLaren's up close, including the F1 cars, that's coming on the channel. No worries, Mark. Before summer break. Which video is that? The detailed video on F1. I can't remember which one that is. I'll have to check. It might be on Motorsport channel. Do I like IndyCar? I do like IndyCar, but I don't fully understand it. Right, chat. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great to be back doing an F1 watch along. They're just so much fun now. And because everything just works. We've got a nice little layout here. I really like what we got with the standings. I feel like it's safe from like a risk perspective as well. Because we're not transposing sort of like anything official from Formula 1. Where we would have signed up to their terms or anything. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This weekend, bonus bank holiday, I'm going to be doing a lot of racing. So a lot of videos coming on the channel, on both channels, Motorsport and this main channel. I really hope you enjoy them. So if you want to keep in touch, make sure to join the Discord, discord.gg/Kireth. If you want to get the newsletters, go to www.sim.doctor and get the newsletter there. I think we'll be doing an F1 podcast with Sam. Actually, maybe Sam's on bank holiday. No, Sam's on holiday. Sam's in Tunisia. My co-host. Maybe we do it out there remotely. Should we do a remote one? He can be on the beach. And we'll put that on. If you've seen, I've recently upgraded the recording area. If you saw the video that came out this morning, it's so good now for recording. So I've got 100% full fire, going for it. There's going to be more videos than you can keep up with, so I dare you to watch them all. I dare you to like them all. You won't be able to keep up. 500 likes as well. Thanks so much, everyone. I've really enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. Big shout out to all the crew in the Philippines. Big shout out to all the mods. Big shout out to all the usual faces and all the new people that have joined as well. Thank you so much. We go further to 100k as well. I've just really enjoyed it today. It's been a real fun one. Next stop, Monza. Well, I might be eating some pizza on stream. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great weekend. And yeah, it's looking exciting for the season. I will see you next time. Shall I play us out? I'll play us out a little bit. Because we're just having so much fun. Yeah, next time let me know. Put in the Discord how I shout in Tagalog. Next time we shout out in like different languages. Oh, I can't say. I can't say. How's it going to work with my diet? Can you tell that I've lost 6 kg? Am I going to just evaporate? I don't want to lose too much muscle though. I think if I might lose muscle, it's not quite going to work. But karting championship coming up. Okay.